Welcome back to Criminally Yours. Our two love interests have finally started throwing hands, and we find out that Thesis has pierced lips! We gotta see if we can somehow fix our supervillain boyfriend and see if he looks better with or without the mask. I need this, man! But anyway, here are your content warnings. Now please enjoy yourselves. Chapter 23. The sun's barely up, but I've been awake for hours. I sit on the edge of my bed, staring at nothing. The city is quiet, so it won't be long before it changes. Nick's texted me before sunrise.
Morning. Ready to start training?
I mean, train what exactly?
Finally going on that gym date I suggested. Though, not exactly how I originally planned. I'm taking this slow and steady. I promise.
I don't want you to go slow and steady. I want you to go fast and rough. It seems like he's trying to convince himself as much as he's convincing me. There's a smiley face after his message. I ignore it and set my phone down. Not because I'm upset. I'm not. Yesterday was a lot. A kiss, a choice, and a step towards something I thought I'd buried for good. And oddly enough, I don't regret it. Not even a little. But I'm nervous. Not about Nick or even Chronos, but about Thesis. Training under a legend is pressure enough. Thesis doesn't waste time, doesn't make exceptions, and sure as hell doesn't tolerate poor judgment. And me getting back together with a former supervillain who's been causing Olympus trouble for the last 2 years? Yeah, it's going to go over great. Nick and Thesis already don't get along. Thesis calls him a reformed liability. Nick calls him a sanctimonious brick wall with no sense of humor. Neither are wrong to think so. And now, I'm walking into a shared training session with both of them, while hiding the fact that I kissed Nick the day before and told him we could try again. Okay, just train. Just focus. You don't owe anyone an explanation. Except I know Thesis. He notices things. Body language, eye contact, one glance at me and Nick standing too close, and I'll be lucky if he doesn't bench us both. My phone buzzes, loud enough to startle me, even though I'm wide awake. I blink, taking my phone off from the nightstand and squint to read the time. 5:37 a.m. Unknown number. Normally I ignore it, but the area code is the same, so something tells me I should pick up. I groan and swipe to answer. Yeah. My voice is rough, thick with sleep, or rather, lack thereof.
Did I wake you?
Yes? As I suspected, it's Thesis. I didn't expect him to call for another couple hours at least. He didn't wake me. I've been up for a while.
Can sleep?
It could be my tired brain, but it almost sounds like he's concerned. It's nothing new. Just been dealing with a lot.
Well, I don't want to add to your plate, but I already told you I'd be training him today. And I'm sure if you don't come, it's going to make everything worse.
I know I'm coming. Give me like 20 minutes to goon to Nick. He's not wrong.
Make sure he gets here on time. I'll deduct points for tardiness. I don't have time for this.
I'll bring him. Might help things go more smoothly. I understand. I'll bring him.
Personally, I feel you shouldn't be involved with this at all. If he wants to be a hero so bad, why does he need you to hold his hand the entire way?
'Cause he loves me. I'm surprised he says so. He only wants to be a hero for me. Because I asked him to. Shit, probably shouldn't have said that. Watch, I'll end up being the reason Chronos is denied his hero certification now.
That's a poor reason to be a hero.
There's another moment of silence. Something left unsaid that never comes. Then a deep sigh.
I'll see you within the hour.
Click. But my 20-minute gooning session! I shouldn't be surprised that even the way he speaks on the phone is unnatural and stiff. This guy seems totally incapable of having a casual conversation. I know he isn't optimistic about this, but if there's one thing I know about Chronos, about Nick, it's that he was about to get what he wanted. If he wanted me, and being a hero was the only way to do it, he'd be a hero, no matter how unpleasant the training. I roll on to my back, staring up at the ceiling, trying not to anticipate what the day will consist of anymore. I stare at the phone in my hand for a few moments longer than I should, sending a basic text to Nick's number. We need to be at Forged in Steel at 6 a.m. Thesis is insistent that we be on time. Not a big deal. Nick is always on time. I get no response though. Must be showering or something. I toss my phone aside. Takes me a few minutes to get out of bed, my body heavy with reluctance. Dragging myself through the motions, shower, brush teeth, throw in some workout clothes. I know I should be more focused, more driven, but my mind keeps drifting back to Nick. For the first time in a good while, I'm excited to see him. And that excitement settles in my chest again, the one that makes me question everything I thought I knew about myself. The gym, Forged in Steel, is a few blocks away. Even though it's early enough that the streets are still quiet, the walk feels longer than it should. When I finally arrive, I expect the place to be empty, but the door is propped open. I step inside. The gym is dim, lit only by the soft glow of the overhead lights. It's still too early for most people to be here. The air smells like rubber mats and sweat, but there's movement. I hear the rhythmic clink of metal, the slow, controlled exhale of someone working out. Then I see him. Thesis, or more accurately, Wes at his pierced nips. He's in the center of the gym, standing by the bench, lifting weights, and he's shirtless with his pierced nips. I freeze, my gaze locking on to his pierced nips before I can stop. I'm sorry. There's no denying that he's, well, breathtaking. His muscles flex and shift as he lifts, the definition in his arms sharp and purposeful. His arms are much larger than I remember them being. I guess that sweater was for more than covering his tattoo sleeve. He moves deliberately. For a moment, I can't pull my eyes away. I'm not proud of it, but I can't help myself. I don't know what it is, how he looks when he's focused, or how his skin catches the light, or maybe the fact that this hero, this ultra-serious, professor-level strict trainer has a pair of pierced nips! Before I can stop myself, my gaze lingers for a moment or far too long. I should look away from his pierced nips. I should focus on anything else, but there's the magnetism in his pierced nips that pulls me in. A strange sense of gravity I can't escape. And then, as I should have predicted, he catches me staring. His eyes mean mine, but mine don't. And for a split second, something shifts in his expression. His lips press together in the tiniest of smiles. It's almost like he's satisfied that he caught me in the act. I feel my face flush, even though I know it's ridiculous. I start, but the words die in my throat. He doesn't say anything, just raises an eyebrow in that way he does. His gaze flickers over me like he's evaluating something about me in an instant. Evaluating.
Late?
I know I'm late! I know! He says, his voice calm as ever, though there's a quiet edge beneath
I
it.
thought you'd be here sooner.
Oh? He's teasing me. It's honestly pretty hard to tell if I wasn't looking at that smirk. I clear my throat. I am not late. Your pierced nips were just early. The words come out weaker than I'd like. He doesn't respond, just goes back to lifting the weights. His body moves again with the same fluidity, each motion controlled, almost hypnotic. I attempt to take a breather, walk over to the bench where he's been working. After another small set, he makes his way over to wipe at his face with a towel hanging above my head. I pull my phone out, and surprisingly, there's still no response. Maybe I should call him? I attempt to do so, and I'm stunned when that doesn't work either. Before I couldn't go anywhere without seeing him. Now I can't get a simple response. What is it with him that when I make my feelings clear, he seems to just switch his tactics from smothering me to keeping his distance? Does he just love to chase or something? I work up the courage to address Wes directly. What's the plan? I say, trying to sound casual. Wes's eyes are steady, unwavering, like he's considering something. There's a pause, just long enough for me to wonder if he's even going to answer at all. Then his lips twitch, ever so slightly.
You'll see.
He says, his voice lowering to a murmur. It almost sounds like he's amused, but there's something else behind it. A challenge? Or maybe it's just how he talks when he's not sure if I'm ready to hear the truth. He rises smoothly to his feet.
While we wait for Golden Boy, warm-ups, partner drills.
Alright, I guess I should use this as an opportunity to work up some stress. I nod and step onto the mat. We start with the basics, shoulder rolls and dynamic stretches, but it's clear early on that Thesis doesn't do basic. Before long, he transitions into precision drills, limb control, mirrored stun switching, close contact balance shifts. Then we move into grappling flow. He guides me through a momentum chain, one hand on my waist, the other bracing my shoulder. I shift, drop my weight low, pivot out, and he counters. Clean, fast, close. Too close, and I feel something cold brushing against my chest. But Thesis pushes for perfect form, for seamless execution, and that requires contact, chest to back, hand to thigh, fingers adjusting my elbow as I move through the motion again.
You're stiff. Open your hips more.
How much more do you want me to open up my pussy? That was the last episode! I can't even bring myself to respond with anything other than incoherent noises. He doesn't smile, but there's something dry in his tone.
Combat doesn't happen at a distance. You should know that.
I reset. He steps towards me again, close enough that I can feel the heat radiating off of him. Close enough that if someone walked in right now, the gym doors slide open with a hydraulic hiss.
What is this?
Nick's voice calls from across the room. I freeze mid-shift. Thesis steps back immediately, cool as ice.
Chronos?
Nick strides in, not smiling, not joking. He's in civilian gear, bag slung over one shoulder, but his eyes are sharp, clouded. I can feel the tension all throughout my body. We were warming up. I say, too fast. Nick lifts a brow.
Yeah, I saw. Looked real warm.
He says to me while eyeing down the Thesis. Thesis walks to the side of the room and starts pulling up the sparring protocols like nothing happened.
You're late.
I'm going to kill you,
he says, smiling wickedly. He looks like he's going to drink his blood after he does it. Thesis lifts his head slowly to make Nick's wild eyes.
What was that?
Thesis asks, slow to anger this time around, but it's clear he's nearing his limit.
Another threat. You really want to do that again?
and I thought I wanted you floating face down in the river yesterday.
He chuckles humorlessly.
Was your goal to get me riled up? 'Cause it's working.
I step between them before this spirals into something worse. This is supposed to be your way to settle things. No one is killing anyone.
No killing. But I'll make you wish I did.
That'll have to do. Thesis nods, expression unreadable, boldly turning his attention to me. Nick's eyes follow him, like if he makes one wrong move, he'll strike.
We'll spar and you observe. Feedback and evaluation after.
Something tells me he just made up a way to involve me. This is purely a way for the two to get back at the other. Nothing will progress if they don't fight this out. I nod in agreement. There was no avoiding it. The minds were made up. Let's just get started. And just like that, the temperature drops. Across from me, Chronos and Thesis circles each other on the mat. No holograms, no simulations, just padded mats and gloves. Gloves I had to talk them into using in the first place. Nick's different. Messier, sure, but there's a rhythm. Improvisation, like he's rewriting the fight as he goes. He's not showboating, not smirking like he used to when someone underestimated him. He's focused. Thesis, meanwhile, moves like a machine. Efficient, brutal, no wasted energy, no flourish. He's taller, faster, and less inclined to hold back. The tension in his jaw says everything he hasn't said out loud. They're not just sparring, they're testing each other. Begin! Nick launches first with full momentum, fast, low, aiming for a sweep that would take most fighters down. Thesis blocks and counters. The room erupts into motion. I watch every strike, every glance, every moment where a punch lingers just a bit too long, or dodge turns into a near collision. They're not trying to win. They're trying to prove who should be here, who I should trust, who I've already chosen and haven't said out loud.
You're holding back.
Which sounds insane to say after what I saw. Does he have a death wish? Thesis snaps, ducking under a jab and slamming a shoulder into Nick's chest. It appears to do little. Nick grunts, sliding back but keeping his balance.
I'm gonna make it nice and slow. Just for you, since you seem to like that so much.
Hey, yo, just kiss already!
You're really that insecure, huh?
The fists collide mid-air. The sound reverberates and makes me jump in my seat. I shift in my seat, trying to breathe evenly. I think Thesis knows, or at least suspects, that there's something between us. Because every time Nick looks my way for half a second too long, every time my gaze lingers, it sharpens Thesis' movements, like he's daring me to admit it. Nick feints left, rolls under a hook, and lands a clean shot to Thesis' rib. Not hard enough to injure, but enough to make a point. Thesis responds with a brutal counter elbow that would have floored someone less prepared. Nick stumbles, barely catching himself. Watch it! I say instinctively, getting up from my seat a little before catching myself. Both of them freeze.
You worried your boy toy can't keep up?
Thesis doesn't even look at me, his voice even.
Oh, babe, you're worried about me.
It's the most calm and normal he's been today. Thesis steps back, breathing steadily, finally looking my way.
That's true. You should choose a new sparring partner.
Nick's shoulder twitch, but he reins it in, barely. Nick manages to parry, but barely. Thesis' fist grazes his cheek. He stumbles, then ducks under a sweeping kick that could have cracked a rib. He tries to counter with a grab, but Thesis twists out and slams an elbow into his back. Nick groans, staggered.
That's round one.
He's serious now. Nick shakes off the loss and is shocked shortly after.
You're slow.
His recovery was near instant. Thesis wasn't the type to make the same mistake more than once, it seems. Watching him at work made me realize how I'm barely keeping up in terms of physicality. Unlike my encounters with Chronos recently, Thesis is giving as much as he's taking. It was clear that if Chronos had ever taken our fight seriously, if he had ever meant to hurt me, it never stood a chance. It's embarrassing. How could a self-made villain be the generational hero? Had he weakened me that much over the last 2 years? Or did I just not try hard enough? Was it Nick's fault, or was it mine? Nick looks like he's barely keeping up, unless he's holding back. He's draped in sweat. The weight behind his hits are no joke. Could he be putting on a brave face and Thesis had him on his toes? Or was he waiting for the right moment to end it? This time, he moves first, quicker, cleaner. He lands a sharp jab to Thesis' side, and he grunts. Then follows up with a knee to the thigh, forcing Thesis off balance. A twist and a throw later, Thesis hits the mat hard. He hisses, driving a fist into the mat below, peeling himself off. Nick wipes at his mouth, chest heaving.
You're too busy predicting what I'll do, instead of reacting in real time.
Nick brings his hands to his hips.
All the good those calculations will do when I break your nose.
Thesis grits his teeth, clearly not too pleased at being coached by his pupil.
You're memorizing my movements.
Nick shrugs.
It's not cheating. I mean, you haven't shared your power with the class.
I wonder how you'll manage to be this smug when I wire your jaw shut.
Why did the voice dip so low there? Nick quirks an eyebrow, almost amused. When it came to being angry, you could very easily read Thesis. He wasn't the least bit satisfied with his performance in the prior round. Nick stands on the sparring mat, jaw tight. He tugs at his neck, looking worn out but happy, like he's hit a new personal calisthenics record. Nick exhales, still grinning. Like after much work, he cracks the code.
All right. Again.
It's, what, round 3? I lost count. There was no telling how long they could keep this up, and even less telling on who would come out the victor. Pow! They go again. The mat squeaks underfoot, hands and arms, a blur of strikes and blocks. It's all technique versus instinct. They trade blows. Thesis ducks under a roundhouse, hooks Nick in the side. Nick twists and elbows him in the ribs. Thesis grits his teeth and drives forward, but Nick catches him in a lock. They're sweating now, grappling, bodies colliding with dull thuds. Thesis breaks free, staggers back. Nick charges. Just kiss already! Too aggressive. Thesis feints, ducks, and lands a sweep that flips Nick onto his back. I cringe before I can stop myself. Nick doesn't stay down, however. He pops back up, Glaring now. Round 3 to Thesis.
Your stance is trash. You fight like a street punk with a fancy watch.
Nick grins through a bloody lip.
And your trash talk sucks.
They clash again. Round 4. Nick again. He's adapting faster than Thesis expects. He's watching Thesis' patterns, reacting not with raw power, but timing, ironically enough. 2 hours in now. It's got to be round 8 at least. It's tied, 4-4. Both of them are bruised and breathing hard. Nick's eye is swelling, the blue one, and Thesis' ribs are sore. I can tell by the way he moves tighter now, less fluid, but neither backs off.
Final round.
Winner takes ego.
Sounds like you've got the most to lose then.
Gathering the last of their strength, they charge, blow for blow, strike for strike. Thesis tries to press him into a corner. Nick pivots, grabs his wrist, slamming an elbow into his shoulder. Thesis gasps, retaliates with a brutal punch to the gut. Nick doubles over, but sweeps Thesis' legs, both hitting the mat as they scramble. Thesis was on top at first. Then Nick flips him. Nick's arms wraps around Thesis' throat, but his leg hooks under Nick. They're locked, neither giving in, neither landing the finishing blow. Fear makes its way into his voice as he can't so much as form a single word. I shoot up in response, having seen more than enough. But before I can get a word in, Nick does the unthinkable. He releases him. Thesis coughs, sweat dripping onto the mat below. We're done. Neither looks satisfied. Both are breathing hard. Even so, they step back. Thesis takes off his gloves with practiced precision. Never look at Nick again.
Sparring complete. Debrief in 15.
He walks out of the ring, not sparing me a glance either. Nick peels off his gloves and sits on the edge of the mat, rubbing the back of his neck. I sit beside him, careful not to touch. He huffs a tired laugh.
I much prefer our fights.
I think they barely qualify as that. We sit there in silence for a moment. The gym feels too big around us.
Shit hurts, but I feel better.
Do you? Even though he doesn't smile, something in his shoulder eases.
Next time, remind me to dodge faster.
I'll try. I doubt many villains will be half as strong as him, though.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Fucker. I always knew having someone like you as my partner meant I have to fight. I just didn't think any of your admirers would be heroes.
You don't have to fight him. He's here to help you. To help us.
Yeah, somehow I doubt that. I think he's trying to protect you from me.
I don't tell him he's right, but he is. He glances over at Thesis, who's still standing in the center of the mat, arms crossed, watching. I can feel the tension from here. Like Thesis wants to finish this with a real fight. Not sparring rules, but he doesn't move.
I think he hates me.
Yep. Nick says, grinning. He does, and can you blame him?
Oh no, he wouldn't be the first.
There's something he's not saying.
But as long as you don't hate me, that's all that matters.
Oh! I never hated you. His eyes soften, tucking a piece of hair behind my ear, thumb tracing my temple in slow, pleasurable strokes.
You've always been too good for me.
He removes his hand, standing and taking a deep breath.
Love you. I'm gonna get a shower in before we go.
I nod, then he walks past me before I can respond, heading towards the showers. No swagger, no cocky grin, just sore muscles and something like resolve. I'm surprised he hadn't invited me. I might have said yes. Thesis passes me on his way out, taking the spot where Nick was just sitting.
You shouldn't have come.
He knows just how to start a conversation. But you invited me?
I know. But with you here, he had too much drive. He didn't want to look stupid in front of you. I hate to say it, but he's tough. I see why it was hard for you to beat him.
Yeah, now imagine if he made you fall for him too. Which, you know, I feel like there's a fanfic out there talking about this very thing. I'm pretty sure that there are various fanfictions of Nick and Thesis. I am pretty sure. Guess it's a good thing he's on our side then. I say, trying to be optimistic.
Yeah, I doubt that. This is worse than I thought.
Why do you say that?
He's never going to give you up.
He's never gonna let me down?
I'm surprised he hasn't put you in a cage yet.
I wouldn't mind a cage. He would never. I'm surprised too. I like to see him try. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't. It wouldn't be the first time. I wouldn't mind a cage. He flinches at that. Look at me as if I had just coughed up a hairball onto the floor. I'm joking! Maybe. I wasn't joking. There's actually something really odd about that idea. Even hotter, putting him in a cage. Ooh! Oh my god. Can I kidnap my supervillain boyfriend? Is that something I can do? Our conversation stalls at the ping of a text message coming through for Wes.
It's my sister. She brought lunch.
Is she hot too?
No, you shouldn't have.
Oh, I thought, well, Nick, I didn't know that you and Wes were siblings. He turns and glares in Nick's direction, now freshly showered. What? Wait a minute! A woman steps through the door, a woman I know all too well. Whitney?
Oracle! Oh, shit. Probably shouldn't call you that.
No one's here other than us.
Perks of running your own gym, I guess.
Whitney's your sis. Okay. I'm gonna be so for real. There's only two people I want in this visual novel. That's Nick and Whitney. I want Nick and Whitney. My goddamn.
Yeah? You didn't know?
He asked as if it should have been obvious, or at least surprised Whitney hadn't told me. No, so looking at them side by side now, I don't know how I managed to not notice before. In all fairness, Thesis and Wes were very different people in my mind. Whitney being related to Wes made sense. To Thesis, though?
Of course they don't know. I don't go around telling your identity, believe it or not. Even if it is to the Oracle.
He concedes, nodding, as she stacks a stack of lunchbox containers to him.
What's this?
Your lunch. The one you asked me to bring you?
I know that. I only asked for salt and pepper rice with some hard-boiled eggs. I smell kimchi.
Oh, God forbid you have all the food groups. I had some leftover soy braised beef and eggs. I figured you wouldn't mind the extra protein. I packed some baby carrots and celery, yogurt, your favorite, and berries.
Aw, she's got like a mom.
I was even kind enough to give you a little toothpick to make it easier for you to eat them with.
He stares down at it and sighs, eyeing it for a moment.
Oh, I made sure none of the food's touched, and I also washed my hands between cutting and portioning so you don't have to worry.
Is it really that particular? Cause if he is, I kinda hate him. His stern look dies there.
Thanks.
Is all he can muster. So coming from him, it's more than nothing. Whitney rolls her eyes.
Yeah, you're welcome. Spent my lunch doing this shit.
You offered.
Only because I knew if I didn't, you would forget and get all shaky and shit.
I usually eat when that happens.
Just eat now, bitch.
I love her. She turns away from him, huffing as she does.
Who's this?
She asks, eyes settling on Nick. He attempts to give her a handshake.
Chronos.
Before they can make contact, Wes shoots out of his seat.
Relax. I'm taken.
And I don't even like men.
I mean, I don't like fitting that, so you know what? Yay! None of that does much to ease Wes's nerves, but he doesn't move any closer.
The Oracle's lawyer, aren't you? Big fan.
Surprise, surprise, he knows that too. Whitney takes his hand hesitantly, look at Wes and I waiting for the punchline. But one never comes.
Whitney Fuang. Of Fuang and Fuang.
That's a name. Okay. Okay. Is it a family? Is it a family business? I'm surprised she was willing to reveal the information. Maybe she felt safe enough to do so with Wes and I being here. Whitney's firm works exclusively with superheroes. Maybe she's made just as many supervillain enemies as Wes and I have. One moment I'm watching them shake hands, the next I see a train derailing. Two figures stand atop it, their silhouettes symmetrical. One raises a hand, and the steel beneath the train lifts with it, glistening ice cracking across the metal from heavy chains. I see the train hurtling towards the station. The lives of the people within the train cars and within the station, no doubt in terrible danger. There's no sound, just the image, the horror, and then my hand shoots out, for nothing, and for no one. I gasp air for a moment, unable to catch my breath.
Hey, are you okay?
Oracle?
Are you alright?
Vision. I say, voice hoarse. Voice hoarse! Voice hoarse! Finally able to catch my breath. Just now, it was bad. I catch glimpses again, like a far too vivid nightmare. I saw a train on the red line, I think. It derailed. It was already dark outside. 2 people with powers, identical twins. One had some kind of ability that was either telekinesis or the ability to manipulate metal. The other, it's hard to tell, but maybe some gravitational force or air manipulation. He sent the train nearly off the tracks. Could be a lot of things, honestly. Chronos approaches me.
That sounds like Phobos and Deimos.
Okay, the Greek mythology, references is really starting to get to me. Thesis' head whips towards him.
You think we're just going to take your word for it?
Chronos doesn't flinch.
You should, because I'm not guessing. I know them.
Whitney's eyes narrow.
Is that supposed to make us feel better?
He ignores her, his eyes finding mine.
They operate like one mind in 2 bodies. I've seen them take down an armored truck without touching it. If they're after the red line, there's going to be casualties.
I let out a slow breath and check Thesis' expression, and what he says nearly steals my breath away again.
We don't have time to argue. He knows them. That gives us an edge.
And you trust him now?
Not fully. But I don't need to trust him. I just need him to be right.
Chronos steps closer, speaking only to me now.
I need to be out there on the field. I can tell you what they'll do before they do it. That's not nothing.
You don't have to convince me. I believe you. His eyes light up, instantly relaxing, having obtained all the approval he sought for.
I can do you one even better. I have information at my place that could give us even more of a head start. It's more than Olympus has access to, that's for sure.
I press my lips together, playfully suspicious. Dare I say, hopeful. Are you just trying to get me to come back to your apartment? He's all too pleased with me saying so. No doubt memories of the last time I was over come to mind. The parts leading up to his fumble, at least.
I'm always trying to, but I know the mission comes first. Maybe we can get pizza again as a way to celebrate.
That confident we'll win?
I've got Oracle by my side. Anything's possible.
I steady my breath, trying and failing to not let those words make me lose touch with reality. He's always believed in me. He's always empowered me. Even when I was at my lowest and felt like a complete and utter failure. Even when he was responsible for half of it. Thesis stiffens. I can't quite pinpoint just what he's thinking. It could be a great many things. Whitney, meanwhile, like a book, looks like she's ready to sue Chronos for breathing too hard. Nick turns to them, shoulders back and chest puffed out in newfound confidence.
I won't screw it up.
He tells the siblings. Both look doubtful, but unable to say anything in objection, then pivots back to me.
We should get to my place as soon as possible. Gather that intel.
And
This isn't a date. I have to come with. We're still on the clock.
You can come with. I don't mind if you watch.
Wes looks like he wants to take a bite out of Nick's neck and tear his head clean off his shoulders. I feel myself becoming immune to Chronos' incessant flirting. It's music to my ears, though. Not long after, we find ourselves at Nick's apartment complex. I'm a little surprised he didn't have another location for this. He's just leading Thesis and Whitney Fong, attorney at law, right back to his house with potential heaps of incriminating evidence. Look as if he's just bringing some friends up for a drink. If I didn't know this was his place already, I might have speculated otherwise. It's clear Thesis seems skeptical, but when isn't he? Nick unlocks the door and lets us all file in one after the other. Despite Whitney's apprehensiveness before, some part of her can't suppress how impressed she is by the interior design. Wes, on the other hand, looks worried that if he knocks over a vase, he'll be millions of dollars in debt to Nick. I hate that I miss aspects of this place. I miss when things were simpler. Nick makes his way over to his many bookshelves. It's not quite a library, but it's clear he's well read, or at least appears to be. Let me guess. Pulls a book, and a secret room emerges, right? I watch. Yep, here it is. He pulls one from the shelf, a thick one. And when I see it, I can't help but chuckle. Plato. The bookshelf opens like a sliding door.
Is that,
Lair. It's a lair. It's so cliche, it's almost genius. Of course he goes through the trouble of having something like this installed. Whitney clutches her briefcase to her chest like a shield. Thesis is not far behind her, look at it, like he's on a hidden camera prank show. He follows inside, like stepping into his old life. Holographic blueprints hover mid-air, mapping every major transit system in the city. A weapon rack on one wall. Next to it, a shelf of preserved organs floating in some blue fluid. Supercomputers hum throughout the room, and on the computer, a list of names. I squint to try to make them out. Thana, Mara, Gorgon, Kava. Are those names? They're all crossed out. Is this some sort of hit list? Chronos walks straight to a console, blocking my view, taps a few keys, and up comes the security footage. Phobos and Deimos, caught in grainy footage, loading crates onto a disguised maintenance train.
Just like Oracle said, they're getting ready to board.
He taps a couple more keys, searching for something.
There's a departure at around 8. It would match with the vision.
Wes glares at the screen, then at Nick.
Do you have any idea what kind of legal suicide it is to reveal this?
She gestures wildly at the lab.
With a government-licensed hero watching?
It's almost like she's prompting Thesis to say something. Anything.
I don't care about legalities right now. Or ever, honestly. Besides, it wouldn't do much good. Half the police force works for me. Pigs love their money.
Chronos says, looking directly at me.
What I care about is that Oracle saw what's going to happen.
I care we stop it before it happens. I step forward, letting my eyes drift to the footage. I saw that train in my vision. This is it. This has to be it. This is good. Well, the information is. I don't know what to make of everything else. Sensing my discomfort, Nick addresses me.
These were my ways to make money. Lowlifes tend to stay in their lane, as long as their pockets are full. Didn't want any of them to mess with you, to take away from your schedule.
Had that part all covered yourself, huh?
He takes the words right out of my mouth. However, it's oddly sweet. Even if the methods at play were extreme, there really was no limit to what he'd do for me. If I could redirect that passion to something healthier. I could tell he's trying, that he doesn't like the way I look at anything remotely Chronos themed. He's trying to rebrand, pave a new path by my side. He can't erase what he did, but he could correct it. It wasn't too late. He'd be my greatest project yet. Could Oracle go as far as to save the arch nemesis from themselves? I have to let him try. I have to see if he's even capable of it. He just needs one last chance to change, or damage everything we've built beyond repair.
I need some air. I'm going to suffocate in here.
I'm right behind you.
Let's meet back up outside the station at sunset. We don't know exactly when they'll make their move, but we'll be ready when they do. Don't keep me waiting.
It doesn't sound like he's just speaking to Chronos anymore. I can sense that there will be some talk needed when this is dealt with. Honestly, I'd prefer to face any foe over Thesis when he's in a bad mood. Winnie gives us a once-over before speaking.
Be safe, Oracle.
It sounds like some mix between don't die and don't let him hurt you again. I nod, assuring her I know what I'm doing, no matter how it may look. Nick's hand finds my own, squeezing before leading me out of the lab and into the far more spacious and welcoming living room.
I made a promise to you and your mother, remember?
He says, leading me to the couch. I take a seat, watching him as he kneels on one knee, still holding my hand as he does so. There's a comfort in his tone you find in any old Hollywood movie.
Though my methods weren't always what you would have chosen, I wanted to protect you both, no matter what.
You can do that as a hero too. We don't always play by the rules either. My mother sure didn't, though I can't really blame her for being kidnapped. How was I ever going to bring this man home again and ask for her approval?
I'll be honest, it's hard for me to stomach anyone who hurts you just living their life. I think that's been the hardest thing for me to get over.
He's equal parts repulsed with himself and antagonized by the thought. Even if they're in jail. That hardly counts as living their life.
I don't have much faith in the powers that be. Enough power, influence, and money can make anyone a villain. It's why I never pretended I wasn't one. My parents have all that and more. It's no surprise I followed suit.
Man, you are your own person, Nick. You can be anything you want to be. You're not predetermined to be evil because you grew up wealthy. You've lived the average civilian life, at least in part. You don't think you can be better?
I can be anything you want me to be. I can be better. But just for my own sake, for New Lycia, for the greater good? No. I don't think so, honestly. I kill because I know how easy it would be for a villain to find a way to escape, and it's a chance I'm not willing to take.
I'm not helpless, though. I don't need you to fight my battles for me. Before you, I'd taken down every villain I've ever faced.
I know that. I just wanted to make your job, your life, easier. You've barely paid a livable wage. You work tirelessly. You have no room for much joy in your life at all. I have the power to make every problem in your life disappear. If you ask me to, it would be done. It might not feel good to ask me to, but just know I will. That I have, for the most part anyway. You have no idea how many enemies you have. I've spent the last 2 years just taking out all the trash.
I should be terrified, but also, I'm kind of turned on right now. Then, that list on his computer. That hit list in the laboratory? He realizes my own recollection, nodding to confirm. There was no doubt those photos and videos Chronos tried to show me of Kava were evidence of all the work he'd done to ensure none of them came back for vengeance on me. He'd gone so far. You can't do that anymore. Doing that for me. There's so much guilt building in my chest.
I won't. It wasn't your fault. The blood is on my hands.
Please tell me we're heading down the good route. Please tell me we're going down the good route. But he did it for me. How was I not in some way responsible?
Have you ever considered not being a hero?
Oh, shit! No! Oh, this is gonna be tricky! No. Yes. No. I like the hero business. I like it. No. Honestly, no. The city needs Oracle. It might not have been my first choice, but it's something I take pride in. I've done so much good. I can't imagine being anything else. I don't want to be anything else.
I support whatever it is you want, but if you don't want to be a hero, you shouldn't be. It's that simple.
I know, but I do want to.
It makes no difference to me.
Don't you love me because I'm Oracle, though?
What? No. I mean, sure, I took on Chronos for you, but not you, Oracle. You.
I'm completely stunned by that. I hadn't even considered anything else. Oracle had become everything to me. The line between Oracle and Lion was almost non-existent at this point. What is there to love about just me? I find myself asking before I so much as processed what he said. Nick's hand finds my face, cupping my cheek, shaking his head as if to stop the thoughts from poisoning my mind.
Don't say that. Don't even think it.
Why me?
Why not you?
It's not really an answer. I feel that even if I was given one, I wouldn't fully believe it.
I love you. I have the moment you entered my life. Nothing would change that. Whether you drop the mantle or keep it, it makes no difference to me. I'll still be here.
He drops his hand from my face, fully embracing me now. I hold him at my waist, stroking his hair to soothe my oncoming nerves. I feel like every conversation we're taking one step closer. Maybe there's an entire nationwide walk we have to take, but this isn't a sprint. It's a marathon. And the best things in life were worth waiting for. We shouldn't keep Thesis waiting. Nick groans as I say that, attempting to pull away. He doesn't hold me much, nor do I fight all that hard to let go. I know, but we need you to get your certification. The sooner you do, well, he won't be on his time anymore. I try and imagine what our lives will look like if he becomes a hero. If he will even work at Corton Investments anymore. You still work at the office?
No, I will be quitting. I hope you will too.
but I can't. It pays for...
Forget about that. Let me cover it. You shouldn't have to do that with your Oracle work. Unless you like working there for some reason.
I most certainly do not, but that's a pipe dream. I can't really just say yes to that. Can I? Besides, he only worked there to be close to me. And when he becomes a full-fledged hero, Olympus will end up moving him or I out of the city, most likely separating us. Unless maybe some sort of duo can be established. That sparks an idea. Would you be my sidekick? I asked, looking down at him. His serious expression cracks a little, laughing.
Yeah, why not? Do heroes and sidekicks sleep together?
I can't think of any. I'm pretty sure, like, some folks in the comments are already, like, just telling me that amount of heroes and sidekicks sleeping together, but I can't think of any. Yeah, they can. Yes. I'm sure some of them do. I don't think there is a rule against it. Even if there were, it's one I'd be more than happy to break.
If there isn't, there will be.
I'm delighted we're on the same page. We're not sleeping together. We're supposed to be taking it slow, remember?
I know. But do sidekicks look at heroes like I do you?
I'll probably end up taking advantage of it. I grab him by the neck, pulling him into a swift kiss. He almost goes limp at that. It's not like he'd fall too far from his knees, but he recovers quickly, returning it with vigor. It was only meant to be a taste, though, so I release him a moment later. He gives me a confused look, like I teased him. I don't want Thesis bitching at us. He sneers at the idea, but before he can retort, be good for me. Let's meet up with him. The longer we keep him waiting, the worse he'll get. The longer I keep Nick waiting, the better he'll get. There's a moment of struggle, his eyes dilating at my words, and his fists at the side clench and unclench, letting me know he's struggling, but ultimately does what I say. Eventually, we decide to leave and meet up with Thesis at the station. The nerves begin to settle in. The skyline is gold-orange with late afternoon lights, but all I can see is my vision. That train tumbling from its tracks, those twins laughing like the world's a joke only they're in on. I glance at Nick, finding myself needing his look of assurance that he so happily provides. For a moment, it feels like we're back in the office, right before doing our presentation. All of the nerves fall away because he's at my side. I wish so badly that we were there as ourselves. Are Nick and Lion the real us, or is it Oracle and Chronos? Do the masks hide our faces, but show our truest selves?
Ready?
Yes, I'll ever be.
I've watched clips, of course, but I've never seen you fight in person.
You're missing quite a show then.
Thesis lets out a sigh, behind gritted teeth. You've watched clips of me?
For training purposes. You're on the news a lot.
I find myself smiling just a little bit, as there's just a hint of a crack in his composure. Nick is glowering behind us. Red Line Station 87 comes into view. It looks peaceful if I didn't know any better. It won't last. I'm the first to spot it. There! Car 11! I sprint forward, Chronos and Thesis hot on my heels. The train is racing along the tracks, uncontrollably.
Chronos and I will handle the twins. Evacuate the civilians. They'll listen to you, Oracle.
I nod. I can do that. The rail groans. The whole train surges forward unnaturally. Sparks shoot from under the track. At the blink of an eye, two muscular figures arise from the top of the train. One has a set of chains that crackle and snap with an icy chill, wrangling the train like a wild Mustang. The other holds twin batons in his hands. Both are completely suited up. The only visual marker, their flaming auburn hair. Phobos and Deimos. It's a weapon. They've taken control, and we're only minutes away from Central Station.
Then we have to cut their control.
Thesis? I say, locking eyes with him. You take Deimos, kill control of the train, and get rid of the chains. I'll deal with Phobos.
What about me?
Chronos asks, sounding offended. You keep watch on both of them from the back. You can memorize their rhythm and help us break it.
I can do more than that.
You need to do what I tell you. I meet his eyes, firm. This isn't about proving yourself. It's about saving lives. For a second, he wants to push back, but knows better to, so, and submits, nodding.
Copy that, Uncle.
I take a heavy breath. The weight of the lives at stake sits heavy on my shoulders. Can I keep doing this forever? This type of danger? These sorts of missions? Chronos doesn't know what he signed up for. He never had to consider the lives of the innocent people caught in the crossfire as a villain. He's never tasted the sting of failure. It means I have to keep fighting. However, those stakes push me to do better. The losses remind me that only I can help these people. No one else will step in to save the day. It's my duty as Oracle, as a hero. It's a life I've chosen, and to do any less will be cowardly. I look at Thesis for a moment. He knows the stakes too. I can see it in the way he carries himself. I watch as he launches himself up onto the train, grabbing the side and hoisting himself up. I follow quickly after. In a fluid movement, Chronos heads to one of the far back cars to keep a view of the whole battlefield.
Enough. This ends now.
He surges forward as Deimos strikes down with the heavy chain that Thesis dodges just in time. He jumps this way and that, quicker than the heavy brute, as if he can sense his next move before he makes it. I have to tear my eyes away to focus on Phobos instead. I run forward, the wind whipping across my cheeks as the train rattles beneath me. I can feel every bump on the track. Every jolt threatens to send me careening off the top of the train, but the pound on my feet keeps me steady. I grab his wrist, twisting it and trying to pin it behind him. He whacks my side with a baton and I crumple in pain. I grab the second strike before it can come down on me and pull him down.
Tunnel!
His voice rings in my ear, and I glance up, seeing the tunnel rapidly approaching. Thesis! He looks just in time, ducking down. Deimos takes advantage of the distraction and kicks him down. He nearly falls off the edge of the car, grabbing the sides just in time. I duck down, pressing my full weight on Phobos as he reaches for my neck. I have to grasp at his hands as he cuts my air supply. The tunnel whips above us, and he forces my head upwards. I can feel the whisk of it above me as I roll over, carrying him with me. I'm dangling off the edge of the train, the graffiti-lined tunnel walls whipping by me. Upside down, I feel Phobos trying to loosen my grip as I launch a hard kick in his face, which buys me some time. From my vantage point, I can see right into the train window. There's nobody in the carriage. I'm sure they evacuated as soon as they saw trouble. I never heard the screams of panic and terror that accompany every attack by the twins. The roar of the train is loud, but something twists in my gut. There's no coffee cups or newspapers left behind that I would expect with the panic leaving. It's empty. I don't have time to dwell on the thought as I thrust back into the harsh sunlight. My eyes take a moment to adjust, just in time to see Phobos launching himself at me, a baton cracking an inch away from my head. I pull myself up.
He's weak on his left side. He never defends it. His brother usually does it for him.
I can hear him through the earpiece and take his advice, striking hard just like I practice in all of my martial arts classes. Phobos crumples over.
Defend your ear.
I whip my hand up just in time to block the punch.
You always forget that move.
He's right. I remember distinctively having lost hearing for a day or two after fighting another villain last year. I grab his wrist and knee him between the legs, but he must be wearing good plating there as it has no effect. I dodge just in time as he takes advantage of me losing my breath, when there's a flurry of movement behind him.
Miss me?
Phobos snarls and pushes him back. Chronos spins with him, landing on his feet as graceful as a cat. He pops up behind him, ducking another baton, retaliating with a firm kick to the back of Phobos' leg. Show off. Deimos surges forward, but Thesis intercepts him with a roundhouse kick that slams his own leg into solid metal. He doesn't so as much flinch. That armor must be reinforced with mesh material. I lean forward slightly, watching, admiring. They're both infuriatingly good. Thesis fights like a tactician, efficient, deliberate, powerful. Every move calculated, every strike purposeful. Chronos fights like a storm, unpredictable, improvisationally stylish. He taunts his opponents, tempts mistakes, makes art out of the chaos. And I know they're both showing off, dare I say, for me. Something's wrong! Thesis is too preoccupied with the fight, where Chronos grabs Phobos' neck with one hand, holding him at arm's length.
What do you mean?
Something is off, and I don't know what. This feels like a trap. I sock Phobos in the face as Chronos holds him out for me. For a moment, we fight side by side in perfect rhythm. He knows all of my strengths and weaknesses, and while he's always been an enigma, I fought him enough to know some of his tricks. I grab Phobos' batons, distract him just enough for Chronos to whip out his gun. Firing a net on top of him, he's tangled up, and I throw both batons off the side of the train. Out the corner of my eye, I see a sign whip by. We're maybe a minute or two from the station. We need to end this, Thesis.
Get to the lever. It'll stop the train.
We both rush forward as I watch him. For a moment, it feels like he locks eyes on me before rushing forward like a linebacker, tackling Deimos to the ground. In a flash, the chain wraps around him and he cries out in pain, the icy cold chill filling the air. He did it on purpose. He's buying us time. Just as I'm about to make the leap to the next car, something grabs on my suit and I'm yanked back. Phobos escaped the net, a knife in hand, as he jabs it at me. I scrap with him, blocking it with every chance I get. Chronos stops for a moment. I can't see his face, but I can feel the worry. Get to the lever! Stop the train! The blade of the knife whips past my cheek. I feel the sting. I whip around, pulling Phobos with me as I watch. Thesis still has Deimos pinned, but barely, and looks up in horror when he realizes that he now has to rely on Chronos to do the right thing. There's an awful beat, where the only sound is the roll of the train on the tracks. I can feel my heart beating in my chest. I trust him. But I focus on Phobos. I trust him. He knows what's at stake. Chronos grabs the lever and pulls, the emergency brake triggering, and the train grinds to a screeching halt. I pin Phobos, tying him up this time, and Thesis makes short work of Deimos.
Convenient. The brake is on the roof.
He stands over Phobos, looking more than a little heroic.
Catch all that, Oracle?
I can hear the smirk in his voice. Yeah, I saw it. I'm out of breath as I look towards Central Station. Only seconds away now. It's empty. It's been evacuated. Every step against the metal rings loud in the empty station. No TV cameras. No media. No police. Thesis grunts, looking up at me, with bound and gagged Deimos. We need to take them in. Get Olympus to secure us a ride back to headquarters.
I know the procedure.
Then what are you looking at me for? He seems like he's about to say something but thinks better of it. I feel rattled, on edge. I keep waiting for the other shoe to drop. I look around at the ceiling, as if quintuplets are about to descend on us. No need for transport, Oracle. I flinch when I hear my boss's voice as he walks up to the train station, a few Olympus guards behind him. We'll take them in for you. Nice work stopping the train. Chronos tilts his head, sizing him up for a moment.
Is this your version of the trolley problem?
It was good for Olympus to track you in action. See what you do, but put no lives at stake. This was a test? I feel the tightness rise high in my throat. What about our lives? You more than handled yourselves. Are they working for Olympus? I point at the twins who are being carted off by men in suits. Hardly. But you can trust Phobos and Deimos to do the wrong thing at the right time. I'm impressed with your progress. Keep it up. It's so casual, like he's giving me kudos on my last report at the office. Chronos and I share a glance. It's instinctual. Around to Thesis. Did you know? He's quiet for a moment.
No.
You sure? He stands to his full height, brushing ice crystals off himself.
Felt real enough to me. Be grateful that no civilians were in danger. And that Chronos proved himself handy for once.
He pauses for a moment.
Would have been nice to have a heads up.
Mad that the bosses are keeping you in the dark?
They had their reasons.
Seems I'm not the only one who likes putting on a show.
I get it. I get it. I'm not really mad. I can't say I'm mad. This is the sort of shit they'd pull. And like, I feel like later on I will feel like this is definitely something that shouldn't have happened in the first place. But I get it. Of course they had their reasons. They wanted to test if Chronos would cooperate. If we would take the first chance to go back to being a villain. They couldn't risk anyone in such a test. I understand. Chronos is already laughing, brushing soot from his jacket like this was a minor inconvenience and not the near-death disaster it felt like 2 minutes ago.
A victory's a victory. We should celebrate.
I removed my mask, realizing that since Olympus went this far, there were not going to be any media. I'd become incredibly sweaty. As I do, I notice a thick line of blood on my hand, but the source was from my stinging cheek. Oh yeah, they did manage to hit in. Nicked me just a little. I can tell without looking it isn't anything in need of my immediate attention. Nick moves first, by my side in mere moments.
You're hurt.
His tone is a little playful, feigning a voice of one of those heartthrobs in those teen romance movies I watched growing up. I shake my head, chuckling. It's nothing. Don't worry. I always manage to get a little injured on every mission.
Is that supposed to make me feel better?
His tone is a little more serious this time. Comes with the territory. I'm sure you got a little banged up yourself.
I was hoping you'd patch me up later, actually.
What's the damage? I ask, entertaining him, knowing full well it's nothing more than some bruises.
Wouldn't it be more fun to find out firsthand?
Yay! Drop your pants! Drop your pants, Chronos! He brings his thumb up to my face, further inspecting my cheek, careful to not trace his thumb directly over it.
It doesn't look too bad. It's a little sexy.
Of course he would say that. I have an irrational or maybe perfectly rational fear that he'll lick it or something. I doubt it'll scar. I've got plenty of them as is. Now it looks as if he'd like a first-hand inspection too.
Remember the first time we met?
He asks, his voice low, amused. I look him sideways. The first time I met Chronos? I think I'd rather not. He chuckles, seeming to remember it fondly despite the fact that he'd staged potentially one of the most dangerous missions of my career. Luckily, it was just like the bomb threat, a ruse. Did you really do all that just for me? Bridge bombing, kidnappings, hospital burning? The list goes on. I knew the answer without asking, but I felt like I needed to hear it straight from the source.
Of course. I mean, it's not like I hurt anyone. Physically, at least.
The emotional trauma, my dude!
I said it before. I always had a reason. Maybe not a good one in your book, but a reason.
Why you gotta be such a heartthrob? There's a hint of shame. More so from me calling him out on it than him feeling bad for the people he no doubt traumatized. I can't help the laugh that slips out, and it catches him off guard. I'm content leaving this behind us, knowing that the overall damage was small. He'd done a decent amount for Oracle as a character at least. Simultaneously, he induced fear while also strengthening people's faith in Oracle. I wonder if that was all part of his plan too. He gives just a small smile. I place a finger in the crevice of his dimple, the right one, just below his brown eye. He can be so cute sometimes, for a complete and total maniac. One moment, we're smiling, and I forget where I am and how I got here. Next, a little bubble we've made for ourselves begins to pop. Chronos' posture stiffens, his smile fading as he turns to face him. It's like flipping a switch, the warmth draining out of him, replaced by something darker, colder, more familiar.
What's the problem now?
Thesis doesn't flinch, his gaze calculating, unbothered.
They're not your toy, you know.
His voice flat, but an undeniable closeness, the coldness to it too. Oh my god, just think of them like making a really sloppy mess of each other. It's just, it's creeping its way into my head right now. Chronos' eyes narrow. He steps forward, but it's controlled. Dangerous in the way he doesn't need to raise his voice to make a point. The tension thickens, his jaw tightens, and his gaze sharpens into something almost predatory.
You're playing with fire.
But Thesis just crosses his arms, unbothered. There's a moment of silence, the kind that fills up the space between them, heavy and charged. It's clear by the way Thesis is glaring at me that he thinks less of me right now, judging me completely. I reach out to Chronos, putting a hand on his arm to ground him. Then Thesis addresses me, and the tension snaps.
Oracle, don't be stupid. Don't fall for it again.
Fall for what? My heart falls into my stomach.
You've got a lot of nerve. You know that? You can stand there and think whatever you want of me. But don't try to talk down to them. They're a toy. They're not smart enough to make the right decision.
Shut up, Thesis. What are you trying to do? Shut up. Why are you provoking him?
It's just the truth. I know he's not good with that, but still.
This is really coming out of nowhere, Robin! My stomach swirls with heat. His condescending smirk and tone makes it burn even hotter. Screw off! You don't know a damn thing about us. I pull Nick to me, pulling with all my strength, knowing that killing him now would do more harm than good. Nick, let's go, okay? Ignore him. You're better than him. I hear some murmur of Hartley from Thesis, but I drown it out. Don't lose your chance to become a hero over this. Despite every muscle tensed in his body, he does eventually, slowly heed my words. I pull him in the opposite direction, trying to leave in any way possible. He never does. I spare a single glance. No, a glare back Thesis's way. The tension hasn't gone away completely. At least immediate storm has passed, for now. Man, the chapters are so long in this part. We walk for a while, finding ourselves in a city. Park barred off to civilians past 8 o'clock. We're still maskless in our suits. The last thing we need is to be caught like this, though it's a little hard to care at this point. The tension feels like it's shedding off with every minute that passes.
You can see the future. Tell me, am I in it?
The answer comes easily. I do. I know you can't forget, but I will. I'll try. I want us to start over. My breath is stolen from me as he hooks my waist, pulling me into him.
Can I kiss you? I really want to.
I close the distance and he follows suit, not missing a beat. Our lips find each other at the same moment. I freeze for a second, the shock of it hitting me hard, but then it all crashes over me. The warmth of him, the softness of his lips, the relief I didn't know I was desperate for. I realized then how much I'd been starved of him. His other hand moves from my waist, up the dip of my back, to the back of my neck, pinching it gently. My heart hammers in my chest, each beat echoing in the silence between us. His hands are on my face now, a trembling urgency in the way he holds me. I didn't expect this, didn't know how much I needed this, until I felt his touch, until I saw his eyes, dark with something I can't name.
I missed you so much.
He says between our kisses. He breathes huskily, his voice thick, deep, and resonant. Instead of responding, I wrap my arms around his neck, kissing him, seeking that bliss once again. His kiss finds its way to my scratched cheek and its way down my neck. I jolt from the tingling sensation, the tension from before all but dissolving. Nick! He smirks against the skin of my collarbone. Son of a bitch, he knows I like that! Seriously, we can't do this now.
Why not? We have no place to be. Do we?
We're in public! Unmasked in our suits!
Do you want to do something?
You! Depends what that something is.
I was thinking karaoke,
Wait, really?
if you want. I'd like to go by myself a lot. Do you like karaoke? I dreamed of taking you on this kind of date eventually. I know you've got a set of pipes on you. You're used to singing for crowds.
Yeah, of course I'm saying yes! I like karaoke. It'll be fun. Gotta get out of these clothes first, though.
I can meet you outside your place in an hour.
Sounds good. We part ways. Good for me, it's late enough that Mom's probably already in her room. I don't want to go as far as to sneak out, but I can if necessary. When I arrive, it's as I thought. She's asleep. The sound of true crime documentaries playing on the screen. It isn't but another 30 minutes that I've had a much needed shower and start sifting through my closet. It is a date. Maybe I should get a little dressed up. I eventually find something that isn't too fancy, but nicer than my office attire, more comfortable than my Oracle getup. I managed to make it out of the house and in front of the building without any hang-up. I stand a little awkwardly, waiting for him. Before too long, I see him dressed to the nines, waving me down. I squint to see what he's holding. He gets one look at me and whistles loudly.
Oh, you look.
He bites his lower lip, looking for the right word,
Just wow.
and comes back with nothing. Yet it's more flattering than any subsequent word would have been.
I noticed the strap of your watch is getting worn down, so I got you a new one.
Thank you.
Do you want me to take your suit to get dry cleaned? I have a private one sworn to secrecy. I know Olympus cheaps out on that.
That's really thoughtful. Thank you.
It's nothing. If you need anything, let me know.
He's always thinking about me. Nothing ever gets overlooked. To have someone there to take some kind of load off was more than I could ask for. It was clear I was his, and he was mine.
Also, I got you this. It's not much, but customary.
He pulls out a single long-stemmed rose he'd hidden behind his back. I take it, admiring the softness of the petals. You really went all out.
Hardly.
He gives me a soft, still nervous kiss, unsure if he's allowed. He pulls away, grinning, despite being red in the face.
Oh, I love being able to kiss you for no reason.
I scrunch my nose at him, rubbing his lips with my thumb. Nothing I do could wipe that smile off his face, I'm sure. He holds his hand out and I take it easily. We find ourselves on the same strip as the high-rise. Tonight, there's live music filling the streets. I'd played a couple times myself. The atmosphere was immediately comforting. We find ourselves at a little hole-in-the-wall karaoke bar I hadn't ever had the chance to go to myself. I glance over at Nick as we slip into a cozy booth in the dimly lit karaoke bar. It's one of those places where the neon signs buzz and the scent of cheap beer is everywhere. The crowd's a mix of bold and shy souls, some singing like they're in a stadium, others clutching their drinks like lifelines, just here for the atmosphere. I'm here for the former. It'll be nice to fully unwind for a bit. Nick's grinning, his excitement so obvious that it almost makes me laugh. I love seeing how he can be so genuinely himself, so unapologetically Nick, in the best and worst cases.
You want me to get you a drink? Maybe what I got you last time?
Oh, yes, my last drink. Yes, please. Might help take the edge off. He retrieves my gin and tonic from the bar moments later, handing it to me. Hey, funny meeting you here. I turn to see my bandmate, Isla. I stand to greet her with a hug. Hey, how are you? Never better. And you? I'm doing good. I'm on a date. You remember Nick? I'm familiar. Nick takes her hand, holding it as if she'd suddenly gone radioactive. Why is he acting so weird? I know I would take anything I get, but still, Nick, chill. I'm surprised to see you two together. I look between them too as Nick does everything short of sneering at her. I can't tell exactly what he's thinking, but it's clear he is uncomfortable.
Nothing to be surprised about. Of course, we'd end up together.
That look! Isla only smiles knowingly. That's nice. Have fun, you two. Oh, and Lion, say hi to Whitney for me. Huh? Before I can so much as think to ask her to elaborate, though, she's gone. Nick turns to me wide-eyed.
How do you know her?
She's part of my band. You don't know that?
I never really noticed, honestly.
How does he not notice that? There's only 4 of us!
She's a villain. I've done work with her before.
I start to look around, not sure how to process that.
She's never done anything to you, has she?
I shake my head. Not at all. She's been really nice to me. She's the one that told me you'd been to the high-rise to watch me perform. He clicks his tongue as if something else had been revealed. How come I never saw you before that night?
I wasn't really there, but I watched. Yeah, I have cameras.
Nick, you are so stereotypical. And I just love... Okay, here's the thing I love about Nick, rather than like a lot of other yanderes, is the fact that he's so nonchalant about these things. He knows what he's doing. He knows what it looks like. He's not hiding any of this. It's just so lighthearted the way they actually like reveal these pieces of information about him. And I just love him so much.
Look, I'll remove them. It was nothing weird, just want to watch you without showing up at the bar and risk you finding out.
Did you have an arrangement with Isla? Is that how? It seems, as he explains, he realizes how strange it is.
I'll remove them.
He repeats. I chuckle, despite everything. Please do, just come and watch me normally. He nods shamefully. I can tell he's silently cursing Isla. Say hi to Whitney. They know each other too. No, Lion, don't worry about it. You're supposed to be relaxing right now, but I'm definitely going to be asking questions. Where were we?
Want to sing with me?
Oh, hell yeah! Sure. Excitement bubbles in my chest. We stand on stage together for a while. I try not to laugh as Nick scrolls through the song options. He's already got a mischievous grin on his face, and I know he's looking for something that'll be a fun, true showstopper.
I don't think you're ready for this.
He prods. Look at me over the top of his phone. Ready for what? I raise an eyebrow, my voice full of laughter. Nick just smirks and hits a button on the screen. The second I hear the song, I drop my head, almost cackling, remembering when we sung it during one office party. We'd both been up a long time. We were practically drunk on delirium then. I swear I might never live this down, I say, half laughing. He holds up the mic, gesturing to me.
We're going to kill it.
I glance around the room. There's only a few people, but it feels like the whole place is watching now. It's nothing compared to the crowd that's accumulated at the high rise or outside, though. I grab the second mic from the stand, and we both start into the song. His voice is low, smooth, and makes me grin, like it always does. Did everything about him have to be so pretty? Who allowed that? The moment I hear his voice harmonizing with mine, it all clicks. It's just us here, and I'm suddenly caught in the magic of it. I start to sing the next line a little louder, leaning into it, my voice ringing out more confidently now. I'm not thinking about how good this should be. I'm thinking about even in this tiny karaoke room, it feels like we're in our own world. I look at him while we're singing, and there's this look in his eyes, like he's completely in the moment, just enjoying being with me. The chorus comes up, and we both belt it out together, coordinated far too well, but I can't help but laugh at his goofy expressions, at the way he winks, makes eyes, and grabs my hand, leading me all across the stage. When the song ends, we look at each other with wide grins. I'm breathless, but it's not just from singing. I feel like a piece of me had returned. Like, this is exactly the kind of thing I've been waiting for.
I think we killed it.
Nick says to me after dropping his mic away from him. Stage fright my ass! He holds out his hand to show me, palm facing the floor.
I'm shaking right now. That wasn't a lie.
That friend of yours, the mascot you were talking about, was that really you? It seems he's getting used to unraveling the parts he's hidden away all this time.
You caught me, yeah. I felt like I could really be myself behind a mask. I guess some things don't change.
Wait, what mascot? Well, you didn't perform with a mask this time. He nods, as if to say, you're right as always.
Now, get back to your seat. I'm not done yet.
Excuse me? What? He gestures me off the stage, grinning. I do as he says, finding my seat. I raise an eyebrow, curious, but he doesn't give me a chance to ask. Oh no, I'm falling for him. As the first few notes play, I recognize the song as well. My heart skips a beat. Nick looks at me, and the playful smile fades into something softer, more tender. The lights do much the same. Had he planned this? When? It'll probably not be answered anytime soon. The spotlight shifts around him, and for a moment, it feels like we're the only two in the room. His voice takes on a new warmth, a rawness I heard only a few times before. He sings with such depth, his eyes locked on mine, every word meant just for me. He sings, his voice trembling on the high notes, and I can feel the weight of his words. A lump forms in my throat. I blink quickly, trying to keep the tears at bay. This moment feels surreal, like some kind of dream. Nick's voice weaves through the room. The playful, confident guy on stage just a moment ago has transformed into someone I can't quite put into words. I don't know when I started smiling, but I know it hasn't left my face since he started. When the song ends, I'm breathless, my chest full. The room fills with applause again, but it's quieter now, as if everyone can sense the intimacy between us. He steps down from the stage, and I'm already standing, moving towards him without thinking. But before I can say anything, he pulls me into a hug. His arms wrap around me, and I bury my face into his chest, letting the moment wash over me. Nick leans down, brushing his lips across mine in a kiss that feels like it's full of promises, full of everything we've shared and everything still to come.
The night doesn't have to end here, does it?
I mean, yeah? What do you have in mind?
Do you like dancing? I've wanted to take you dancing too.
I'd love to. The lights from the bars and shops spill onto the pavement, casting long shadows in the warm night air. I hope they play. A slow song, a swing song, a slow swing disco, something upbeat. Ooh! Ooh! I can't do swing. So either disco or slow. Disco or slow. So, one of these two. Honestly, disco or slow. I mean. Yes. A jazz band is playing live from a nearby corner. The soft notes of the saxophone wrapping around us like a velvet blanket. Nick grins at me, the effortless, crooked smile that makes my heart skip every single time. He holds his hand out. I don't need to think twice before I step closer, closing the distance between us until there's barely any space left to breathe. He takes my hand gently, his fingers warm against mine. We sway to the music, slow, almost lazy, as the city carries on around us. The rhythm of the sax and the soft tap of drums seem to make the moment float, like we're in a dream. He presses his cheek to mine. His thumb brushes over the small of my back, the motion gentle and almost reverent. Nick leans in, just enough for his lips to brush against my ear, and whispers,
"You're everything to me. You know that? I'm not scared anymore."
Aww. And in that moment, it feels like he's doing more than just sweet-talking me, telling me what he thinks I want to hear. It feels like he's telling me he's ready to be here with me, for good. I tighten my grip on his hand as we sway together, the city spinning around us, the music playing on, and for the first time in a long time, I don't feel the weight of everything we've been through. I feel the way we fit, the way we've always fit, in the quiet spaces between the words we finally started saying. The night ends soon after that, and we find ourselves back on the empty streets, bumping into each other as we talk about everything and nothing at all. A couple words were exchanged, as well as a sweet kiss on the doorsteps to my apartment complex before he leaves, like something out of a movie. Chapter 26. The morning is uneventful, standard, but made easier to stomach due to the wonderful date I had last night. I don't have a perfect memory, but I know I won't be able to forget it as long as I live. Breakfast is made before the sun is even fully up. My morning goes by as usual. Oh, I forgot to tell you, when I was cleaning out the attic, I found a box of old videotapes. That's good, I answer, barely paying attention. Remember that musical you were in? That doesn't really narrow it down, Mom. I always forget the name, but it's your first one when you were in like 7th grade or when you were 14? I can never remember. Cool. You were so cute, so talented. You used to be so sweet and attentive. Were? I asked, cocking an eyebrow at her. Thanks, Mom. I say, taking a sip of my water. What was the name? Hey, yo! Why you? Hey! I spit across the table! Lion! What the hell is wrong with you? I don't even respond. I'm almost scared to recall that image. Almost, I'll look again. Just not here. Just, not now! Not now! Just a weird vision, like a jump scare. Some cat in a tree. I say before thinking, make it up as I go while cleaning up the mess I made. As I go to discard the dirty wash clothes in the sink, I retrieve more water. Nick's name lights up on my phone just as I'm closing the fridge. I swipe to answer before the screen disappears.
Good morning.
Hi, I was just thinking about you naked, apparently. Good morning. I reply shyly, pretending my stomach doesn't twist every time I hear his voice, especially in combination with that image I have to fight to recall.
Hey, so there's this play downtown. Thought you might like to join me, if you aren't too busy.
His nervous smile is audible through the line. What kind of play?
It's a musical. The show's supposed to start at about noon. Is that too late notice? I already bought tickets, but you don't have to go.
I glance over my shoulder towards the living room. Mom's curled up on the couch, watching some show where it's more yelling than actual discussion now. I could go, I say a bit quickly, suddenly becoming aware of her every minor shift in posture. We speak for a little while longer before I hang up the phone. Now a ball of nervous energy, but also exhilaration. Before too long, I'm in my room, resisting every urge in my body to see the vision, especially now. I thought we were just going to see a musical. How would a scantily clad Chronos fall into that at all? It's not the sort of thing I need to investigate, but even when I do, it does little to no good half the time. Best to just let it run its course. Maybe I imagined it. Maybe I should look again. Yeah, yes! I wouldn't want to misimagine it. It was only for a second. Just in case I flee to the restroom, taking the longest time I think I've ever taken to recall my vision for as long as I've inherited my power. I close my eyes despite not needing to and replay the vision, doing everything possible for my heart not to leap at the sight. Oh! My brain wasn't playing tricks on me. What did he have up his sleeve? Or rather not, don't think about it. I was excited for a date already. This wasn't entirely necessary, but it was going to happen anyway. No sense in dwelling over it and what it could mean. I had bigger fish to fry, super observant mothers to ignore. I managed to make it to the front door and slip on my shoes, slipping when Mom pokes her head around the corner. You going out? Oh, yeah, just a thing. With a friend. I avoid eye contact. It's weak and unconvincing. It might have worked when I was 16. With who? She asks, too casually. My fingers freeze on the doorknob. Nick! I curse myself for not even thinking to say Chronos! I'm caught! I know it! I straighten, preparing myself for the discourse that's no doubt coming. We're just going to see a play. And him just like, strapped up like that. I mean, honestly, oh my God. Oh, I'm so glad that I'm not having a nosebleed or anything. Honestly, I don't know how this was supposed to make him feel any better. She steps closer, crossing her arms. Is this part of a mission or... Mom, I love you. I don't need a parental committee for every decision I make. You can trust me, I hope. I find enough bravery in myself to meet her eyes. She softens, but there's still that line of worry between her brows. I do trust you. It's him I'm not sure about. He's different. I say, and maybe it's not what she wants to hear. Not a lot to inspire confidence, but it's true if nothing else. Her lips press together. She nods, not convinced, but letting it go. Maybe bring him to dinner one night. Yes? I mean, if he's serious about you. She's not even trying to mask her tone, and me, being her child, am not one to back down from a challenge. I just might. I'm out the door before she can retort in any fashion. The theater is warm and ornate, all gold trim and plush red seats. It's a little fancier than the play I was expecting. It's more akin to an opera house, but he keeps reassuring me it isn't an opera we're seeing this time. There's something wonderful in that. He always sees the future with us, even when things are uncertain. He never wavers from that. It makes me want to believe in it too. We settle in, just as the lights dim. The show was surprisingly good. Funny, dramatic, full of men yearning. A trope utilized so well here, it needs to really make a comeback. About halfway through the second act, I glance sideways and realize Nick wasn't just watching. He was enthralled by it. His jaw was tight, with his hands clenched on his knee and his... I didn't ask. In some ways, I already knew. So instead of prompting him, I just brushed my fingers against his. He curled his pinky around mine, a covert thank you in the dark. As the curtain fell and applause echoed throughout the theater, he stayed seated, staring ahead for a little longer than necessary. You okay? I asked softly. He nodded once.
It was a beautiful show. Just brought some stuff up.
Did we know each other as kids? Good stuff? He exhales. I could tell he was forcing himself to dig up something that would have much preferred to stay buried. I felt guilty, but equally pleased he continued to do so.
It's bittersweet. I used to go to the show a lot with my folks.
Wait, are you blonde Batman? His parents. He never talks about them. When he does, it's always in passing. I realize I don't know a thing about them. I squeeze his hand as if to say, I get it, even though I knew good and well that there was much I didn't know still. He smiles faintly, eyes glassy.
Thanks for coming. Really, it might sound cheesy, but you really did make my dream come true just now.
I give him a small smile, make him move to kiss him when my watch flashes the Oracle call symbol. Oh, wonderful. I can feel the same amount of annoyance from him as well. Well, this at least might explain the Chronos suit. Hey, Lion, I thought we weren't going to think about that anymore. Right, my bad. It reads, immediate deployment, coordinates and brief incoming. Nick groans, head tipping back. I can hardly hear it under his breath. Something along the lines of hate, hero, and bullshit. They wouldn't call us unless it mattered. I'm already reaching into my bag for my suit. This is why we were meant to have them on a person at all times. I lean in, kissing his cheek. At least we got to finish the show first. He nods reluctantly. After that, we're suited up in some back alley as more details file in not too long after. Mission alert. 2-person investigation on the potential whereabouts of villain Eris? He tosses his jacket on, thinking for a moment.
Eris? I don't know anyone by that name. Must be new.
That put me at ease a little. Just a small fry, like a cat stuck in a tree, a teenager caught vandalizing. Hell, even removing some naked guy from a vent. If it was that last one, I was going to cash in all my goodwill with Nick for him to do it instead. Then it occurs to me. Are they really sending me to do some sidekick grunt work? It had to be another one of their bullshit tests. Screw this. Let Thesis or some other hero up Olympus's Trojan horse-sized asshole go and do it instead! Forget the mission. I tell him, and I am a little satisfied by his jolt of surprise.
Forget the mission?
He parrots back at me, amused. They could just get Thesis to investigate. It's probably another fake anyway. They're just trying to waste our time. I stand, stretch, feel my joints pop. He stares at me like I've grown a second head all of a sudden.
You serious?
I nod, already walking opposite of where we were meant to go. Why? Where am I going? Dead. Yeah, I'll walk for a while. Chronos following before I find some refuge in an abandoned warehouse. Not sure what I want to do. I just know I don't want to go home, and I don't want to go to Nick's place either, since now Thesis knows where that is. Inside the warehouse smells like rust, motor oil, and rain-soaked concrete. Empty crates are stacked in corners, and strands of sunlight manages to penetrate the cloudy sky, heavy with oncoming rain. The thunder rumbles through the empty space. I take a seat on one of the nearby crates. Chronos follows, slower this time.
You okay?
That simple phrase was a tipping point for me. No! I'm tired of the grind and pretending every mission matters. I've done everything I was ever asked to do and more, but for what? He doesn't answer right away. Just walks over, stands between my knees, and cups my face in his hands.
Then don't.
He says it quietly, like it's the simplest thing in the world. And maybe it is. Maybe it always was. Something inside me exhales, like the breath I've been holding since I first put on the damn mask 10 years ago. I lean into him. The kiss starts soft, careful, but doesn't stay that way. He's warm, grounding and real, unlike everything else lately. His lips part against mine. I pull him closer, my hands slide beneath his jacket, fingers brushing the familiar lines of his waist. The armor under his clothes is light, flexible, designed to bend with his body. Chronos grips my hip like he's afraid I'll stop him. His mouth finds the corner of mine, my jaw, the hollow beneath my ear. We've kissed before, but this feels different from those times. It feels desperate, like we're clinging on to each other as the world fades away below us, like we are seeking certainty where none can be found. My breath catches as he mouths in my neck.
You sure?
Yes! I want the whole empty warehouse to hear us! I want some random, passers-by to, wonder what the hell is that noise, come investigate it and go oh my god! No longer asking about ditching the mission, but about something else. He murmurs, sounding lost in himself. Voice rough. I answer by tugging him forward. I don't want to think right now. I just want you. Don't take offense, but would you be willing to put the mask back on? He quirks an eyebrow.
I guess it wasn't just my fantasy.
You mean in our suits? He nods slowly, revealing something he's long kept hidden under wraps. He puts a whole new spin on all of our encounters as Oracle and Chronos before now. Swallowing deeply, I'm close enough that I can see his Adam's apple bobbing in his throat. He places the mask back on, chuckling warm and metallic, and places a large hand against my waist. It isn't unpleasant, his thumb gliding across the material of my suit. Lay down, I order. Instead of fighting me like a real villain would do, he does as commanded. Yippee! He positions himself on his back. My hands run up his shirt. Hold it with your teeth. Once he does, I smirk. Hands up. They nearly fly above his head. There it is, my vision from before. Who knew I'd be the one who brought it to life? This has got to be one of the strangest and hardest self-fulfilling prophecies. We lose ourselves in the dark and the pleasure of the other. Screw the mission and each other! We both lay there for a moment. I shift up, propping myself up on my elbows. His head is bowed. Then he looks up, slowly, despite the mask. I can feel his shit-eating grin. Somewhere in the distance, our comms crackle. Dispatch asking for updates. Someone else reporting movement across the river. We ignore it. His hand falls forward in loose strands, brushing my cheek as he looks down at me like I'm something sacred, something breakable. He sheds the mask, kisses me again, slower this time, and I feel the whole day start to unravel. I let it. Let the mission burn. Let the world rot. For once, I choose something selfish. For once, I choose him. And it feels like the only real thing I've done in a long, long time. That was a very fast chapter 27. The world is my oyster. I'm lying on my back, just playing back the time we spent together. How everything was just fine. Oracle was able to skip, and it made no difference. I wonder, how many times I could have done that before? At least Nyx was able to coax me out of it for once. He was able to take all my stress away. I hummed to myself, playing it back. I envy Nick a little for being able to do that so effortlessly. What I would give to relive that. I'm stripped down to my pajamas, having tossed my clothes into the laundry basket and pulled the blankets under my chin, hoping sleep will come easily tonight. But it doesn't. I toss and turn in bed, staring at the ceiling, listening to the creak of the house settling. I can't stop thinking about seeing him. When is too soon to move in together? I cover my eyes and kick my feet. Lion, relax! I try to tell myself, but I'm growing so attached. A soft sound pierces the silence. Clink. My heart skips. Then it's followed by another clink. Then a faint tap against the window. My body goes tense with instinct, then with excitement. He's such a romantic. I couldn't even be annoyed at him for giving in so easily. If he wasn't going to, I was on a fast track to. This was too cute. I sit up in bed, staring across the window. I'm staring across the room at the window. A few more rocks hit the glass. I slip out of bed. My heart speeds up, and my hands reach for the curtains, looking for him, expecting him to hold some radio over his head, to ask me to let down my hair and let him into my room for a late-night rendezvous. As I peer down into the darkness outside, I see nothing but shadows. Where'd he go? I grab the window handle, pulling it open. The cold night air hits me, sharp and biting. I reach for one of the rocks, careful as I pick it up. It's small, jagged. My fingers brush over the rough surface. Then my vision suddenly blurs. The last thing I feel is a dizzying rush of vertigo. Then everything goes black. Chapter 28? I wake up with a jolt. My limbs are stiff. When I try to move, a dull ache pulses through my entire body, mixed with the cold metal biting into my wrists and ankles. Panic flares as I try to move, but the restraints around me are unyielding, tugging at my skin, no doubt, leaving marks. The ache in my head pulses, and the world comes into focus in a slow, blurry wave. Where am I? The last thing I remember is the rock, and then nothing. My mind is foggy. My stomach churns, but I can't focus. Someone must have taken me. I try to move again, but my body's sluggish. My mind doesn't seem to want to catch up with the situation. The air smells stale, like a place that's been long forgotten. The dim light above flickers intermittently, casting long shadows on the concrete floor. I squint, trying to make sense of the shapes around me. My breath comes out in quick, shallow gasps as I try to piece together how I ended up here. Then, my heart jumps into my throat, and the door creaking open. It's a woman-like figure that steps into the room, tall and cloaked in darkness. I don't see her face well, but I have a suspicion. I trace the recesses of my memory, looking for something, anything. Nick had gone home. I was in my bedroom when I heard rocks being thrown. Then, that was it. Instead of Nick, it was the threat Nick and I saw comes to my mind. It was no threat. It was a promise. It was Eris. My stomach continues to sink as reality sets in. Her eyes glint with cold disposition as she watches me stir. A smirk curls onto her lips, something twisted, almost predatory about it. She doesn't speak immediately, just watches me struggle against the chains that hold me down, savoring in my weakness. She must have drugged me. Fuck! Did you think he'd be able to protect you forever? I swallow hard, the lump in my throat almost suffocating me. I want to answer, but my mouth feels dry, my voice incapable of anything above a whisper. Eris cuts me off despite never uttering a word, her laughter low and cruel. Do you know what he did? Of course you don't. There's too much. And yet, Olympus welcomes him in with open arms. They don't care what he's done. I bet he barely got a slap on the wrist. He slaughtered my boyfriend. My everything! And now he's going to find out just how that feels. Nothing personal, Oracle. I try to shake my head, but my body won't cooperate. His name was Carver. Remember him? Chronos tortured him for 3 days because of you, before he gutted him like a fish. He even made a show out of it. He's a monster. It was probably true, but it wasn't like Carver was much of a saint himself. His name was Carver for a reason. I wondered if Eris knew that Carver threatened to torture me, to use me up until I'd lost all sensation in my body. I wonder if that even mattered at this point. Knowing Nick, he knew good and well what Carver was willing to do if he ever managed to beat me. He didn't spare him even slightly. But it seemed Eris was going to follow suit. She steps closer, her heels clicking against the concrete floor, each step slow and deliberate. She leans down, her face inches from mine, her breath cold against my skin. My vision blurs at the edges, and my chest tightens. I can't focus. Not now. Not when she's so close. She drives a knife into my thigh. I choke back a scream, enduring it as best as I can. The pain is enough to make me hurl on its own. She leaves it there, before twisting it once to hear me scream properly. There's more where that came from. A sound from the doorway interrupts her words. A crash, then a blur of motion. I feel a spark of hope ignite in me. Chronos, Nick, please. Eris's eyes widen in fury. She whips around, pulling out another knife. No! You don't get to ruin everything again! Chronos steps into the room, his presence hanging over both of us like a dark cloud. His eyes lock onto mine, and for just a second, everything feels like it's going to be okay. But the moment passes. Fear of uncertainty takes its place when his attention shifts to Eris.
Let them go.
You might want to listen to him. His voice is cold and final. It's clear he won't be asking again. Eris's laugh is harsh, bitter. You really think I'm just going to hand them over to you? You think you can even stop me? Chronos' eyes darken. I've seen this before. The dangerous side of him that still hasn't fully gone away. But right now, it's the only thing that might save me. He doesn't say anything, closing the distance slowly. Eris's face becomes determined. She's going to fight. She raises her hands, energy crackling around her fingertips. I'm going to make you watch, you son of a bitch! She unleashes a surge of vibrancy towards him, but Chronos is faster. The air shimmers as he deflects it. Something in his suit seems to be capable of that. The collision of the energy sends shockwaves through the room. I feel the ground tremble beneath me, the wall shaking as Eris's energy clashes with the wall that is Chronos. My mind is reeling. I want to help, but I'm powerless. All I can do is watch as they fight, and my chest tightens with every passing second. The two of them move like shadows, faster than I can follow. Eris keeps attacking, her energy slicing through the air with precision. Chronos counters, deflecting and redirecting each strike with growing intensity. And then, in a heartbeat, everything changes. Eris lunges, her body moving like a blur, her hands glowing. She aims directly for Chronos, a final, devastating blow. But before she can strike, he's already in front of her. With a single, swift motion, he grabs her wrist, his grip fastening around it. The power crackles around them both for a moment, but Chronos doesn't let go. There's a brief moment of stillness, like the world itself is holding its breath. Then, in an instant, Chronos wraps his arm around Eris's neck. She struggles, writhing in his grasp, clearly panicked. She makes a weak sound, choking. I can barely keep my eyes open. I shut them, gritting my teeth. Then I hear it, a sickening... Oh shit! I hear a knife clatter to the ground. Then shortly after the familiar squelch of stabbing, as he drives a knife into her, over and over again. It's a blood-curdling sound, possibly the worst sound I've ever heard. I scream to mask it, even when it's painful to do so. I open my eyes to look at him, still screaming. Chronos breathes heavily. He's covered in her blood and entrails, his chest rising and falling with exertion. For a moment, he waits there, kneeling, before releasing her lifeless body to crumple to the floor.
Oracle.
He steps forward, his voice as soft as he can manage, but strained.
Are you okay?
I want to say something, but the words stick to my throat, scratchy from my screams before. I nod weakly, my heart still galloping, still trying to make sense of what just happened. He did it. He saved me. A yell breaks the fragile silence.
No!
I turn towards the doorway, my pulse quickening. Not now! His eyes are wide with disbelief, his jaw clenched tight. He steps into the room, his gaze flicking from Eris's unconscious, no, never to be conscious again form to Chronos, and then to me. The look in his eyes is complex, but the anger, that's as clear as day.
You killed her!
He doesn't ask, his voice shaky with a mix of frustration and disbelief.
Of course you killed her.
Chronos' gaze hardens.
Damn right I did. She was going to kill Oracle.
Thesis' fists clench at his sides, trying to stop shaking, but to no success.
There's always a choice. You don't get to decide who lives and who dies. That's not what we do. That wasn't your call to make. You just couldn't help yourself.
I feel my heart clench as Chronos takes a step towards him, his eyes unwavering.
We're leaving. If I hadn't been here, Oracle would be dead, and you would have been too late. I saved them.
The tension in the room is suffocating. I can feel it in my bones. Thesis is struggling to keep it together, to understand. He looks at me, shaking his head.
Look at me. I did it. Don't blame Oracle. Or you can join Eris.
He cocks his head to her corpse. The two glare at each other. It's a matter of time before the bloodbath begins again. I can't take it anymore. Chronos, get me out of here! I call for him, begging to avoid more bloodshed. Thankfully, he manages to abandon Thesis in favor of me and gets me out of my restraints without too much trouble. Thesis watches us, looking unsure of what to do. Get us out of here! I tell him again, hoping he'll listen. Before I can, Thesis takes a step forward, his voice intrusive.
I'm not gonna let you just walk away, you son of a bitch!
Chronos doesn't answer. Instead, he takes a deep breath, his eyes meeting mine, and in that look, I see everything before us. The weight of the decision he just made, the burden of his past, and the fear of losing me. Before Thesis can say another word, Chronos pulls me close.
Don't follow, if you know what's good for you.
He says in warning, granting him one last chance to get out while he still can, to avoid making a grave mistake. Chronos wraps his arm around and under me, carrying me out. Thesis somehow, uncharacteristically, doesn't follow us. I imagine once we fled into the night, he decided to call for backup, to report on what happened, to tell the world they'd lost Oracle to Chronos for good. Okay. Standing on the edge of a rooftop, the city sprawled out before me, before us. We continued to wear the weight of everything that's happened in the last couple of weeks. I used to be Oracle, the Golden One, the people's champion. We've all heard the stories. The people of New Lycia trusted me to keep them safe. The city that once cheered for me now whispers my name with contempt. Now, I'm just someone on the run. From an outsider looking in, I'm sure they saw me as a coward, a traitor, someone who just wanted to escape all the responsibility. And maybe they were right to an extent, but didn't matter. I was free. However I got here, whatever led me here, I wasn't some unwilling bystander. I knew what I wanted. I wanted out. I wanted Nick. Chronos stands beside me, his presence like a constant, unshakable shadow. He's resorted back to the villain he used to be, more than he ever was. But more than any of that, he's mine, and I am his. The people, Thesis, my own mother thinks I betrayed them, that I'd been swept away by Chronos as his willing prisoner. But what they don't know is that I never stopped loving him. Even after everything, I never stopped. That couldn't be so wrong. To love someone unconditionally, to see the darkest corners of their heart, and choose to stay. I don't know what kind of future we're building, but I know it's with him. My phone continues to flood with messages from Thesis, telling me it's not too late, that we can stop Chronos, that my mother just wants to see me again. I don't think he's ever going to stop coming for us, I say quietly, breaking the silence between us. My voice sounds strange in my ears, distant. Not like me at all. Not like the old me, at least. Chronos' eyes are dark, staring out over the city. He's not looking at me, but I feel the weight of his gaze.
I told him not to.
He replies, voice low, controlled, and certain. His hand brushes against mine, though he doesn't grab it. Even still, I feel the familiar electric pull that's been there from the start, the connection that runs deeper than logic, than reason, than even morality. I should have known it would be this way. Should have known that no matter how hard I tried to break free, I would always be drawn back to him. What are you thinking about? I ask, looking out over the horizon, the glittering blue and purple hue and city lights dancing below us, for us. When he doesn't answer, I check his expression. I feel like I can read it less and less with each passing day.
Too much.
I sense a tone of longing. He does this a lot now, staring off for a long time, like he's daydreaming. Of what? I don't know exactly, yet a part of me does. Where do we go now? I ask him, hoping he'll choose not to give me such a short response. I watch Chronos as he holds my hand, absently tracing the engagement ring he'd given me the night we started running, with his fingers.
Wherever you want.
The world has already decided who we are now, and there's no going back. If we wanted to belong, we had to make it so. We're criminals. There will never be a place for people like that. Chronos doesn't care about the rest of the world's judgment. he'd steal the breath of anyone who cursed my name. And soon enough, I won't care either. I have to remember what led me here, how Olympus treated me despite all the work I'd done for them, how my mother dedicated her life to them and ended up living with me. In pain, day in and day out, no statues of glory, just a few pats on the back. She was a fool to go back to them, to believe they ever had our interest in mind. If we wanted something, we had to take it for ourselves. It was clear the powers that be had never truly been on our side. Only Chronos has ever been on my side. No matter who I was or what I chose, he was there for me, without lecture, without judgment, without asking.
I hope you're not scared.
He says softly, his voice low, unsteady. I shake my head. No. I know I'll be safe with him. I know if I keep moving, no one can keep up with us.
I won't let anyone hurt you.
It's a promise. One I know he'll keep as long as he lives. He looks at me. It's clear. I'm everything he's ever wanted. In the end, it's clear. The life I've chosen has already been set in motion. Only we can fix what's been broken. Make sense of the cards we've been dealt. No one will ever understand that. They'll take the easy way out. They will work within their confines and live a shadow life as a result. It's a world of fools who see what we have and scoff. Little do they know, they were all rats in a cage. I hold out my hand and let my phone tumble down into the city below us. After I watch it drop and shatter, I turn away from the city and follow him, my heart pounding with newfound determination. Let's go. I don't know where we'll go, but it doesn't really matter. Anywhere with him is home. Chronos. My Chronos wasn't the person I thought he'd be, and neither am I. Ending 1. Criminals in Love. Well, I don't think that was the ending we really wanted, was it? Let's see if we can fix it. Let's see if we can do that. So the game runs on a point system. And like where it branches off actually starts from here, where you can choose to either forgive him or say you need time. I actually chose correctly the first time if I wanted to go down an alternate route. So I'm going to say I need time. Okay, and we'll just skip right on through. And yeah, most of these barely matter, I think. I forgot. I hum back, okay. I don't know if this matters. I'm gonna say it's a vacation. What was this? Red roses were taunting me. I'm gonna keep him because I like him. I was the hero for self-worth. La-da-dee, la-da-do. Either is fine. It's completely fine. I'm gonna own it.
There's plausible deniability.
I know,
but
Whitney!
since it's real, and if Chronos confirms it,
I know.
that could spell serious trouble for you.
I was just trying to see what. Oh God! I don't know what he'll do. Wait. Oh God, that was not what I. That was not what I said. He wouldn't. He wouldn't hurt. I stay silent. Oh wait, no. Me too. That's what I said. Yes, I told him about my powers. I understand. Okay, I stay silent. Okay. Over here. Okay. This doesn't really matter either. So I will thank him because I love this man and I need him in my life. Ooh, and over here, man, if you want to get back together, this doesn't really matter. So, instead of just leaning into it and just kissing him, we're supposed to stop him but reassure. As he goes to hug or kiss me, I extend my arm, pressing my chest back, stopping him in his tracks. Hold it. I might be willing to move past this, but that doesn't mean I'm ready to be intimate with you just yet. You've still got plenty of work ahead of you. Despite looking like I ran over his puppy, he agrees with a nod of his head. But I'm looking forward to seeing you again. If everything goes according to your plan. His face lights up.
It will. Nothing will keep me from you.
I catch myself smiling and have to turn away from him. I kneel to untie Rachel, removing her headphones and reassuring her that Oracle is here to save the day. As I turn, Nick is already gone, his mask no longer on the floor of the warehouse. I think we can skip through this. Who is this? I mean, yeah, he's pretty cute. Don't really care. Wait, what? Maybe we can get some coffee. Yeah, let's get some coffee. Over here. Wait, hold
I'm
up.
dealing with him too.
Okay, yeah, I know that you'll be at peace because I love him too much. Here it doesn't really matter either, so I'm gonna correct them. And okay, of course I'm comforting him. Actions the same.
Seems you've had trouble with that in the past.
Excuse me? How could you? How could you, Wesley? How could you? I look to Chronos because I love this man. And yeah, I am supposed to... Okay, over here. Okay, I'm not supposed to laugh, okay? I'm supposed to scold him. Are you crazy?
Only for you.
He says without missing a beat. This isn't a joke, Nick. Don't threaten him. He's tied with Olympus, and he's a nice guy.
I can feel how much he likes you.
I think everyone can tell that. You can't be serious. I am not your property. If he wants to look at me, he can.
Not without consequences.
Fair enough, fair enough. What? You're going to kill him?
I can't.
Because he's too strong? He clicks his tongue.
No, because I'm a hero now. But heroes can still fight people they don't like, right?
You're right, you're right. Wait.
I mean, you fought me every chance you got.
We were nemesis back then, my dude. That's different. You were my enemy. You were causing trouble. Can I skip through? I can't skip.
He's my enemy, and he's causing me trouble. I'm not budging on this.
Okay.
Besides, he wanted to fight me.
I know. Because you threatened him.
He could have just listened to my warning.
It seems I'm getting nowhere fast with this. There was a good chance Wes has more up his sleeves than Nick could ever prepare for. I just hope he doesn't get too hurt in the process. I'm going to end up biting him in the ass. I can feel it. I know he'll come crying to me to fix him up, and I'll have to because despite everything, I care about the big stupid lug.
You look tired. You should get some rest.
I know I should. Can I skip through? Yes, I can. Over here, like, it doesn't matter if I kiss or give him a peck, so I'm just gonna kiss him. I'm gonna kiss him, and I'll bring him, and then, oh my god, your pierced nips! Oh, I love your pierced nips! Oh, okay. He will never. Look, I know how he seems, but he's never hurt me, and he never will. At least not like that.
Your funeral.
I roll my eyes. He doesn't get it. I never expected him to. Chapter 24, and we skip on through. Oh, God. Oh, my God, this is going on. Wait, what do you say?
Have you ever considered not being a hero?
Oh, yeah, this is about, like, getting hero points, and I'm gonna... Ooh, over here, we had to tell him we had to take it slow. We had to take it slow, my dude. I break from his grasp. We're not sleeping together. We're taking it slow, remember?
I know. But do sidekicks look at heroes like I do you?
You're making it so hard. This is why I folded so hard in the first ending. I turn my gaze away. Forget it. Let them move you to another city. I'll come visit or something. Even as I attempt to tell him off, I can't commit fully to my words. Frankly, I'm scared to give in. Sure, we're on the right track, but how long before? I can't think like that. If I'm just waiting for him to fail, then why did I consider getting back with him to begin with? He touches my hand at my side. It undoes all the stiffness in my body. I turn to face him a little.
I'm not pressuring you. You just wanted me to be honest. So I am.
Ah.
I never said what I was really thinking before, because I was worried I'd scare you away.
Ah. I turn to face him fully this time, each word tearing down another makeshift barrier put up. It's not that I hate when he flirts, but it just reminds me of Chronos. I keep separating them in my head. He's not either or anymore, he's both. One I thought I hated, and one I loved with all my heart. If he's both, did I just hate him less now? Or love him less? I thought Nick was just a persona Chronos had adopted, but what if it was the opposite this whole time? Chronos is the extension of Nick, the man who'd always been so kind to me, even if I couldn't quite pinpoint where that kindness was coming from. I just want to know who Nick really is. I wonder how far I'll have to dig. I wonder if he'd just let me sift around as I pleased. What would I need to find to be satisfied? Would I ever find the source of his love for me there? Is there even a source to find?
Who I am deep down can't get enough of you. I'll take whatever scraps you give me. I'll be anything that lets me stay with you.
Oh, it's the truth. And that's what terrifies me. He'd be anything? Why be anything when he could just be you? His entire composure breaks.
Be me?
He asked it like it's totally absurd. Like I'd ask him to become a cow and fly.
But what if you don't like me?
There's an edge to his voice. It's clear that I uncovered something. I shake my head instinctively, despite my previous doubts. There's no way I knew you for 2 years and didn't meet the real Nick once. Have you ever thought that maybe I like the real you more? Judging by the look on his face, no, he really hadn't. How horribly sad was that? The truth is, in order for us to know, we have to try. It might be terrifying to be yourself. It might be horrible to discover that maybe you're not meant for me. But you owe it to me to try. To really try. He goes to nod, but he needs to understand what I'm saying because I won't make this speech again. Because the only way for this to work, actually work, is if you are open to me. Don't be scared of losing me or being by yourself. Or being yourself. Being yourself. Be scared of losing me because you didn't try. I don't expect perfection. I never did. I could never expect that from you, even when you were just Mr. Perfect. What I expected was for you to right your wrongs when you inevitably screw up, because we all do. We can't control who we are or how we feel. Everyone thinks evil, horrible things, Nick. But not everyone acts on them. That's what separates the heroes from the villains. I don't care if you forego being a villain or a hero, but don't ever stop being who you really are. There's a long moment of silence. His face displays so many different emotions. I can only pinpoint a few. Shame, guilt, relief, and most prominently, fear. It's as if I asked him to serve in a war he didn't know he'd come back from. But eventually, after deliberating for a few minutes more, he finally acknowledges what I said.
I want to try.
I cross the small distance that separates us, pulling him up so that he wraps his arms around me. I make a move to stroke his hair, soft as I remember, scratching at his scalp in slow, deliberate movements. Lastly, I press a gentle, sweet kiss to his lips, in hopes it'll ease whatever pain is tucked so far down I can't reach. There's no telling what he's hiding, what he's so fearful of, how I factor into any of it, but despite everything, I know I won't hate him for it. I won't look at his scars with scorn or reopen them. I know that who I see right now is the real Nick, a broken boy playing a man. Our lips don't move. His body shakes against mine. I hold him against me to lessen the shakes as he lets himself sob in my arms. I know it must feel horribly humiliating, but I also know just as well that it must have felt just as freeing. I close my eyes, tightening him against me, letting him know this won't scare me, that whatever it is that's destroyed him so, I've been through something that also left me like this, and all I needed was someone to hold me tightly and not let go. It wasn't much, that he had to let me go and collected himself in the bathroom. Eventually, we decided to leave and meet up with Thesis, not exchanging a single word until we arrived at the station. The nerves begin to settle in. Okay, we've already seen all this. Oh, I have to keep fighting. Okay, I trust him. Okay, I understand where they're coming from. And over here, this is the last choice that matters. I tell him that he's better than this. Nick, don't! I can feel all the progress we made start to slip away. Please, I don't care what he thinks. I know you can be better. Prove him wrong. Despite the tension wound tight in his body, I feared he'd break out of my grasp. He seems to ease ever so slightly at my words. We can leave. Our work is done here anyway. I feel a wave of relief wash over me as he turns the other cheek. I follow closely behind, almost willing him forward, scared he'll give in and turn back to finish the job. He never does. I spare a single glance, no, glare back Thesis's way. What is he trying to do? Why did he need to say any of that? The tension hasn't gone away completely, but at least The immediate storm has passed. For now. And it's chapter 25. Let's see. We find ourselves in a city park. Okay, I'm pretty sure... Oh, it's changed. Nick, you okay?
I would be. If he didn't insult you.
I catch a glimpse of his fist clenching. I'm sure his knuckles have gone completely white beneath those gloves. I don't know why he felt the need to do that. I think it might have been his way of trying to protect me or something.
I want to forget about it. But letting go of things has never been easy for me.
Was he the type to hold a grudge? Wait, I guess with a perfect memory, that would be hard not to do. He'd just keep reliving it. Maybe I couldn't undo what's been done, but replace it with a good memory instead. I thought it was pretty hard how you defended me, how you didn't give in to his taunting. He turns to me slowly, eyebrows raising.
You think so?
I nod enthusiastically. I do. I knew you would. Proud of you. No, it's not easy.
You make it worth it.
I meet his gaze, the vulnerability that's tugging at something deep inside me. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. I whisper, the words slipping out before I can stop them. I don't need to remind him, but I think it helps him. I just need you to be real. I need you to be a real person who messes up and tries. And just then, you were. It was raw. It was ugly, but you controlled yourself. That power of yours. Must drive you crazy, huh? He nods. Something tells me I have no idea.
I can remember every second of us, every wonderful moment, and every mistake. I'll never be able to forget that look of terror you gave me when I revealed I was Chronos.
That makes two of us. I'd never felt a deep sense of betrayal before. I'm surprised we're where we are now. I'd fully intended to get rid of him out of my life forever.
I knew then that there was a chance I'd lose you forever. You always deserved the truth. But I wasn't prepared to get rejected. I would have told you eventually, when I was certain that when I did, you wouldn't run away. But looking back, I don't think I'd ever had the courage to. I could never risk losing you.
You know what's interesting here is that this is typically like the yandere look, and it has been established to be the yandere look, but right now it seems more like a look of shame, which is an interesting way to twist how this sprite is typically used. It's interesting. His jaw tightens. He's trying to hold it together. I can see the weight of his words, see the man who broke earlier return. I can work with flawed. There's nothing I can do with perfection. He steps closer, slowly, carefully, as though he's waiting for me to stop him. But I don't. I don't move away. I just stand there, feeling the weight of everything he's said, everything I've said, and everything we've both lost.
You're right. I'm fucked up. The things I've done, the thoughts I have of you, all the things I do to keep you in my life, every thought of you drives me crazy.
The distance between us is so small now. I can feel the heat of his presence. His eyes don't leave mine, steady and unwavering. I take a shallow breath, a baseball-sized lump in my throat. He might remember every fight, every tear shed, but I remember something too. I'm starting to remember why I wanted him here in the first place. He takes another step, holding his hand up to stroke my face. I lean into it, almost brought to tears by the warmth I find there.
You can see the future. Tell me, am I in it?
The answer comes easily. I do. I know you can't forget, but I will. I'll try. I want us to start over. Can we skip this? Oh, yeah! Nick. Why? I swallow. I'm almost afraid to ask, but I find it in myself to ask because I really don't know why. Why do you love me so much?
You saved my life.
My breath catches, and for a moment, I can't find the words, but my chest is so full, so raw, with everything I've kept buried for so long. Is he that thankful for me saving him all the way back then, on a whim? Is that what sparked our relationship to what it is now? It's like he's unlocked something deep inside me. Something that was aching for this, for him. before I can say anything, his lips are on mine again. It's not gentle, it's not slow, it's full of urgency, as if he's been waiting too. Like this is the only way he can bridge the distance that has stretched between us for so long. I kiss him back, pouring everything into it. Everything I didn't say. Everything I felt since we broke up. Everything that's been building up inside me. His arms drop to pull me closer, and I respond instinctively, closing whatever gap that's left, never getting close enough. I don't care that it's messy, that we're both shaking. I don't care that the world is still turning, that it's probably too soon. It still feels right. The rush of it, the storm that surges between us, feels like it's consuming me, like it's all I can think about. His touch, his kiss, it's everything I've been missing. When we finally pull back, I'm breathless, heart pounding, and the silence that follows feels deafening. Despite it not being, it feels like a first kiss. His forehead rests against mine, and I hear his voice, quiet and unsure. But there's an edge to it that's new, that's different.
I don't want to lose you again. I'll die. If you leave, I'll die.
Fuck, that gave me chills. He whispers. It's the sort of line you'd read in a romance novel. It fills the euphoria with a tinge of something close to dread. The concept of loving someone so much you can't bear to live in a world where they didn't exist. It's a beautiful concept, yet it felt like a promise, like the truth. Instead of responding, I wrapped my arms around his neck, kissing him, seeking that bliss once again. His kiss finds its way to my scratched cheek and its way down my neck. I jolt from the tingling sensation, the tension from before all but dissolving. Nick! He smirks against the skin on my collarbone. Son of a bitch, he knows I like that, okay? I think that was so fucking tender, and I guess I'll just skip through and... Oh, wait, well, what do you ask?
I know you've got a set of pipes on you. You're used to singing for crowds.
Oh, it's date night. Yeah, sure. Let's go ahead. Let's have my last drink. Wait, what?
Want to sing with me?
Of course I want to sing with you. Yeah, let's go. Let's freaking go. I'd love to dance to a slow song. And what? Maybe I should look. Yes. Yay! Oh my god. Bullshit tests or otherwise, this was a way to ensure Chronos would be certified, even if it meant doing annoying missions one after the other. You probably don't know who Eris is, cause she's probably a fake. Chronos crosses his arms. We'll figure it out as we go. For now, let's just investigate and report. We don't engage unless we have to. He nods curtly. We find ourselves before too long in a place known as the Pelion District. I'd only been a handful of times back when I was a fledgling myself. It was mostly a place for those who'd fallen too far. It wasn't worth to most to dedicate resources in even arresting them and providing them with an attempt at a better life. It was a chaotic concrete maze that led into many sewers. It was all rusted metal and mosquito-friendly waterways, littered with needles, condoms, and whatever filth you could think of. We moved quietly between puddles and shadows, our steps muffled on damp concrete. It wasn't long before we spot what I'd even hesitate to call a clue. Written, almost drawn into the side of the building, a messy, abstract graffiti with the words, "Live with the death of Oracle." Just words, but they feel like a punch in my gut. I point to it, not that I need to. All the warmth in him, gone in a blink.
This better be a real mission. This isn't a joke.
He turns away, pacing. There's fire in him now. Old instincts die hard. He wanted to kill Thesis over making eyes at me, for just insulting me. Someone threatening my life. That will be harder for him to get over. Yeah, this would definitely change a lot. This would definitely change a lot in that ending. Even if this was all something Olympus staged, the insult was loud and clear. I walk up behind him, placing my hand on his shoulder. He stills. Hold on, I say softly. Look at me. He does, and I see it. Fear, buried deep under the fury. Fear for me or for himself? I'm not sure. If it's real, it wouldn't be the first or last enemy I've made. If it's fake, it's just as a means to get you to lose your cool. Either way, best not to give in to it. His hand comes up to rest over mine. The air between us hums. I can hear the cars on the interstate above us. Finally, the frogs croaking, the distant friendly yelling, characteristic of city streets. He brushes his fingers against mine for a long moment, grounding himself.
Let's report it then.
My heart squeezes at that, so much so I can't even form words. I just look at him, smiling and nodding. We head back on foot, going down mostly abandoned city slums. The clouds are thick and low. The distinct smell of rain and the low rumbling of thunder start to build. Before too long, the sky opens up. The downpour is sudden and unrelenting. Chronos curses under his breath and pulls me under a minimally covered doorway. We're both already soaked. Even still, he removes his coat and places it over my shoulders.
Wait here.
He instructs, and before I can protest, he's ducking into a tiny convenience store at the corner. A minute or so later, he's back, triumphantly wielding an umbrella with little ducks on it.
It's all they had, but it's cute.
I like this ending a lot better. Damn, like the first ending, okay? Like it made sense. It made a lot of sense, considering like the sort of environment that Oracle and Chronos went through. But this, like, it's just so cute and heartwarming. I love it. I laugh, despite myself, and step under it with him. Since it's so small, he pulls me close, arm around my waist, warm even through the wet fabric. This must have been his plan all along. You're ridiculous, I murmur affectionately. We walk in step, the umbrella swaying gently above us. The rain is relentless, but it's found a steady rhythm in this hazy, quiet street, filled with the sounds of our steps, the rain hitting the plastic above us, and the distant rumble of thunder. It feels almost romantic.
I'm singing in the rain.
God damn it, Chronos! He sings softly, silly and pleasant. He sure does love his musicals. Were you a theater kid by any chance? He blanches at that, turning his face away from me. I thought it was obvious. Though it's never something we discuss much at work either, now that I think about it.
What gave it away?
He asked, like he'd been caught doing something much more worthy of shame. He just seemed to love it. Explains why you can sing and act. I realized only after I say it, how scathing it was. I didn't mean...
No, you're right. I was in musical theater, but it was a long time ago.
Wait a minute. Then we're interrupted by an awful sound. A sharp, high-pitched yowl, almost swallowed by the thunder. We stop short. Did you hear that? We follow the sound across the street and find it. A tiny black kitten, barely older than a few weeks, soaked to the skin and tangled in the low branches of the bent tree, half submerged in a drainage ditch.
Hang on, buddy.
Chronos mutters, already moving. Wait! Be careful! But he's already in the water, boots sloshing, one hand shielding the kitten from the downpour. He lifts it gently, cradling it like it's made of glass, and murmurs to it in an attempt to comfort it. I step forward, relieved. There's something about the image. Chronos stripping, cradling this tiny, helpless thing that knocks the air out of me. You're becoming more of a hero every day. Legit, I know for a fact that Joy did their homework here, because this is beat by beat the save the cat moment that I've been hearing so much about. Like, oh God. Like, it's just so heartwarming to see. Jesus. I say quietly. He ignores that in favor of inspecting the kitty, holding it up. It's just so tiny. Just a little void with eyeballs. Is it a boy? He nods, smiling.
Poor baby. How did you end up here?
Ah! Of course he doesn't expect an answer. Just looks up at him lovingly.
He seems alright. Just scared and wet.
Like me. What will you call him?
For some reason, I'm thinking Kobe, but I want you to name him.
Brian? I want to call him Stinky. I wanted to call him Stinky, but you know, I'm going to give you the agency of choice. I'm going to give it to you. Well, no, don't name the cat. Call him Kobe. Call him that.
Kobe it is. I'm taking him home with me. You want to come home with me?
He coos. Back in Nick's apartment, the rain hammers against the windows. The kitten is bathed, fed, and now bundled in a towel on the couch, finally asleep, a tiny black puffball rising and falling with each breath. I'm standing, hanging up the Chronos jacket to dry right above the kid-sized duck umbrella. Thankfully, hero suits dry quickly.
You should still take a shower. Don't want to get you sick.
Are you coming with me? I quirk an eyebrow suspiciously. He doesn't see it and doesn't say anything else. His tone seems sincere, and had I had any other vision this morning, I might be inclined to believe him. Instead, he gives me a small smile and retreats into his bedroom. Odd. I guess I should use the guest bathroom then. I managed to get a shower. The vision that I had filed away in the back of my mind is now back front and center. I've never had a false vision. Maybe one I misinterpreted, sure, but never one that didn't come to pass. Was he playing coy? Hard to get even? I fiddled through my bag and retrieved my date clothes from before. I step out the door, the apartment filled with silence. I peeked through his bedroom door, watching Nick, still in his Chronos attire, sitting on the edge of his bed with his head in his hands. Every time I blinked, I saw flickers of that confident smile in the corner of my mind. But here in reality, Chronos' demeanor is anything but that. His shoulders are hunched like he's bracing for a hit that already landed. Flashes of lightning show him better. He's deep in thought. Maybe? The vision comes to mind again. I'll tell him about it. I step into the room quietly, like I might scare him off if I move too fast. The mood feels wrong. I want to do whatever necessary to correct it. Was it because of the play, or the threat, or even Kobe? I had a vision of you this morning, I say, carefully.
Yeah?
He asks, sounding distant. He doesn't attempt to look up at me. I continue, despite myself. You looked, well, like something out of an erotic magazine or something. He lets out a breath that sounds almost like a scoff.
Your visions always come true?
I sit beside him, close enough that our knees touch. Yeah? There's silence that hangs for a while. The storm helps a bit from making it too uncomfortable, but no less ominous. Then Chronos speaks, his voice low and sounding further and further away.
I don't feel like that guy today. I'm sorry.
He moves his hands at his side. His fingers dig into his sheet as he keeps his eyes fixed to the floor.
I enjoy having you around. Enjoyed the time we had today, but it also just...
He struggles on how to elaborate. Take your time, I tell him, placing a hand gently on one of his. I watch as he swallows hard.
I've never talked about this before.
He starts.
I really don't want to tell you. It's worse than you finding out on Chronos.
His jaw tightens, and my throat does right along with him. He still doesn't meet my eyes. I want to tell him he doesn't have to, but I know I can't say that. I know that nothing will ever change, ever get better or heal, if he doesn't tell me. So instead, I wait, not sure if I should leave my hand on his or not. I settle for leaving it next to him, not quite touching. He needs to tell me, no matter how hard, no matter how bad it is. Before he speaks, he looks to the ceiling for guidance.
Chronos is who I always wanted to be, who Nick could never be. He made Nick look better by comparison. I wanted to be someone who could sing in front of people, who could wear eyeliner, glitter, and heels without thinking twice. And every time I got close to being him, kids at school, my own parents, made sure I knew I could never be him. At least, not without consequences.
Oh, man. It's something he said before, but in this moment, it sounded like he was quoting someone.
I remember everything. How, after seeing my first play with my parents, I dreamt of being in one from that moment on. I remember singing in an empty classroom, to work up the courage to audition for choir. I remembered the horror of being discovered when I did, the way they laughed when they took videos, and how much I no longer wanted to live when I saw them posted online. I was taunted and mocked all throughout middle school. First for my eyes, then for being fat, then it was for being gay.
Oh, fuck.
It didn't end at school either. I remember when my dad found a script I was working on once and tore it in half. Said theater was for queers. I'd embarrass our family name. I'd end up beaten and dead on the streets. That no real man stood under stage lights unless he was there to fix them. That if I wanted people to like me, I just need to get off my lazy ass and play football or something. Then maybe kids would make fun of me. I remember how my mother stood behind him when he said those horrible things and did nothing.
The bitterness in his voice is sharp enough to cut glass.
I remember how nothing changed, even when I tried and failed to kill myself.
There's a long silence. One I'd never be able to break. I'd have sat for the rest of my life if I had to.
I remember waking up and seeing white everywhere. Hearing my father shade me. Not hearing my mother say anything. I remember thinking nothing was ever going to change. I felt trapped in my own skin. I wanted a way out, and music was that way out. But it caused me just as much pain. So I wanted to quit. I wanted to pack away all my dreams and start pretending I'd never wanted it in the first place. I'd laugh at myself before anyone else could. And in the end, I still made myself small. And after a while, I guess I just forgot how to be anything else.
Finally, he looks at me, and it was like seeing him for the very first time. My chest aches for him, stings, as I can't even begin to imagine all those things that tormented him. It still torments me as if they were happening right now.
That musical you were in, do you remember it?
I begin to gape. Thinking back, I remember it. Yeah, it's what made me fall in love with music. Changed my life. He nods knowingly.
You saved my life.
He'd said it before, but I knew then. It wasn't that time at the high-rise he was talking about.
That musical you were in, I'd watch it on my laptop while I recovered. Your performance saved my life.
I take his hands and hold them in mine now, steadying myself. As much as I am doing it for him, like something's threatening to come out that can never be put back in.
It changed everything for me. It made me want to try, even when it felt hopeless. I wanted to at least try again. The bullying never stopped. My parents were never stellar. But it got better in small ways. I joined theater, met friends who shared my passion. I lost weight by the time I started high school. I even had a girlfriend for most of it. Eventually, I'd become a top scholar, an attractive kid, a star. I realized all I had to do was play the part of someone who had it all together. And eventually, I was that person. I played the role of my life. I played the role of someone worth loving. And whoever Nick was disappeared right along with it. Everyone loved me more when I wasn't me. Nick did die back then. Or at least I thought. Every time I'm with you lately, it feels like a part of him comes back. And I'm terrified you'll hate him too. I couldn't live with that.
Why would I hate a theater kid? I was a theater kid.
I'd be anything to be with you. But you want me to be myself. And I don't know how to do that anymore.
His breath hitches. Tears spill and he shuts his eyes, but it hardly wills them away. I wrap my arms around him and thank God he doesn't pull away. He collapses into me, burying his face in my shoulder as the dam finally breaks. The world unravels around us as I feel something between us finally shift and click in place. This is Nick. This is who I loved. Who I loved. I kiss his shoulder in return, rubbing his back in long, soothing strokes. I love you, Nick. I always have. Thank you for telling me. I know it was impossible to do. He can't even form words now. I stroke his head, falling back onto the bed behind us, pulling him with me, letting him rest on top of me as I soothe him continuously. The storm outside rages on. I hold Nick in my arms, his body trembling against mine, the cold, sleek fabric of his villain suit pressed tightly to my skin. He'd always been the enemy, the villain, the one I was supposed to stop, yet here we are, tangled in each other's arms, the weight of his history and my role as his adversary, all but forgotten. His breath comes in shallow gasps, each one trembling as he nuzzles closer into my chest. His hands are shaking, his fingers clenching at my suit like he's afraid to let go, like he's afraid to be seen this way. He's too vulnerable and uncomfortably human. I run my fingers through his hair, soft, as if the simple touch could smooth out the chaos in his mind. His eyes are closed, his forehead pressed lightly against my collarbone. The rain beats outside the windows, relentless and cold, but here, in this small space between us, there's warmth. One I want to protect more than I ever had before. If Lion had someone to protect, I'd be invincible. You don't have to carry all this alone anymore, Nick. I say softly, my voice barely audible over the thunder. It's a quiet promise. One I wish I could make him believe. One I'd keep no matter what. He shifts slightly, his face tilting up to meet mine. I see the rawness in his expression, the cracks in the facade he's worn for too long, the mask of invulnerability slipping away. I swallow hard, fighting the swell of emotions in my chest. I pull him closer, his arms tightening around him, my arms tightening around him. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to explain anything. Just know, I'll be here. His chest rises and falls in a ragged breath, and as I instructed, he doesn't say anything. Instead, he clings to me like I'm his anchor, the weight of the years, the mistakes, the regrets. He's always been alone with it. I hold him, offering him a safety he's never had. I gently tilt his chin up, and his gaze meets mine, searching, desperate. There's a flicker of uncertainty, a flicker of something real behind the usually guarded walls of his mismatched eyes. He's afraid of being seen, being loved, of trusting someone enough to let go. I'm right here, I whisper, my thumb brushing over his lips. He leans into my touch, the faintest tremble in his hands betraying the turmoil inside. For a moment, he just looks at me. Then, his lips press against mine, tentative at first, like he's testing the waters, unsure if it's safe to fully let go. I kiss him back, letting him guide the pace. His hand slides up my chest, the cold touch of his fingers slipping beneath the fabric of my clothes, seeking warmth, seeking something to hold on to. I place him on his back. Yay! My vision comes true! I take it in for a moment. It looks so different now. Then, We shed our clothes, as if they were nothing more than burdens. His Chronos suit falls to the floor with a soft thud. It's then I can see, when the lightning flashes, the stretch marks on the soft parts of his arms, on the sides of his now sculpted stomach, the evidence of a life I had no clue he ever lived before today. I place a gentle kiss to them as I find them, admiring his body, letting him know that I still see him for the gorgeous man he is. He looks uncomfortable for a moment, but I reach out, tracing the lines of his jaw with my fingers now. You're beautiful. His hand shakes as they touch me again, exploring my own bare skin. My heart beats faster in my chest as he pulls me down on top of him, his body warm beneath mine, his breath shallow but eager. I kiss him again, this time with more urgency, as if we're both trying to erase the pain of the past, to replace it with something softer. His hand slides down my back, pulling me closer, and I let him. I want to feel every inch of him. I want to know that this moment, this connection, is more than just the sum of our past. That despite everything we've been through, we can find something good in what we have. We move together, slow and careful, as if neither of us is sure whether we deserve this tenderness. But it's the only thing that feels right in this chaos we found ourselves in. He's trembling beneath me, but it's not from fear anymore. He's letting me in, and it feels like we're paving the way for something new. Every kiss is a promise, every touch an attempt to soothe the wounds we carry. The storm outside continues to howl, but here, inside, there's only comforting sounds, a song of our own. I press my lips against his neck, feeling the pulse of his heartbeat beneath my mouth, steady and strong. I whisper his name, and he responds with a soft gasp, his hand sliding over my body, urging me closer. We continuously say each other's names, as if it's a mantra, like you'll fix whatever is broken inside of us. It's just us, tangled in the sheets, lost in each other. His kisses are softer now, deeper, as if he's finally giving himself permission, as if he's convinced himself he can have this. Despite all else, he's allowed to have this. And I give it to him. I let go. I hold him, feel him, love him with all the tenderness I've been wanting to show him for so long. Show him all the love I was scared to before. The night carries on as we find shelter in each other, one we've never known before. It's clear to me now that we can truly weather anything. Chapter 27. It's all new as I wake up to the gentle sound of Nick's breathing beside me. I see for the first time how his skin glows beneath the early morning sun. Feel him clutch me tighter the more I shift in bed. I take a moment to just watch him, the steady rise and fall of his chest. After everything we've been through, after everything, this quiet morning feels like a small miracle. Eventually I nudge him, my fingers slightly brushing his arm, and the locks of his hair over his eyes. He stirs, his eyes flutter open, a soft groan escaping his lips as he adjusts to the light.
You still here?
He murmurs, asking, voice thick with sleep. Of course. It's just past 8. Do you want to eat breakfast or something?
Don't go.
He begs, wrapping his arms around me. I end up toppling on top of him, but he doesn't even care a little. The more I pull away, the stronger he holds on. Nick. He shakes his head stubbornly. I'm coaxed back in for another hour, just holding on to him, letting my morning routine pass me by. It's not hard to do. He's so soft and warm to hold. It should be criminal to be this comfortable. If I'm not careful, I'll waste my entire day just like this. He made no attempt to go anywhere or even say anything. As nice as it is, it's not good for either of us to just ignore all our responsibilities. I remember what my mom had offered the day prior. Nick, I need to ask you something. He's still groggy, but his eyes narrow, a hint of concern creeping in. I take a deep breath. This is going to be awkward, but something I have to do. Is the last thing to get squared away before we can comfortably continue as we are. I was wondering if you'd come have dinner with my mom tonight? He freezes, his eyebrows knit together, and I know what he's thinking. He's trying to hide it, but I know him too well. She sort of invited you, actually. She suggested having dinner with you. That only seems to confuse him even more. He'll be fine, I add quickly, trying to downplay the intensity of the request. Nick sits up, running a hand through his messy hair.
She doesn't hate me?
I don't think so. If she hated you, I don't think she'd even bother seeing you again. I think it might be time to, move past it. Nick exhales sharply, looking torn. I can see him replaying something in his mind. He exhales through his nose and looks down at his hands, the nervous energy radiating off of him.
I don't expect it to go well, but I'll do it.
Thank you. If it's too terrible, I'll never ask you again, but she'll appreciate your courage at least. Nick finally looks up at me, a small, almost rueful smile tugging at the corner of his lips. I try not to laugh, though it's hard. He knows this the least he deserves. He'd gone too far then. It was time to make amends, once and for all. Just one more obstacle. We find ourselves hovering outside my apartment door for a little too long. I muster up the courage to step inside, resisting the urge to drag Nick in with me in case he decides to run away or something. She's standing, prepping a salad in the kitchen when Nick and I walk in, her eyes lighting up the second she sees me. She gets up, wraps me in a tight hug, and as I pull away, I see her look at Nick properly for the first time since that night. Her gaze transforms in that way it does when she's sizing up someone, but there's no coldness there, just the quiet intensity of a mother who wants to see what I see in him. Nick? She says after a beat, her voice as warm yet also just as firm. Nice to see you again. He stands a little straighter. I can feel the tension in his shoulders.
It's good to see you again too, Mrs. Oracle.
She waves him up, a small smile playing on her lips. No, missers. I wasn't the type to ever get married. I can feel Nick relaxing slightly, but he's still tense. His gaze keeps flickering between me and her, like he's trying to gauge her next move. I didn't poison your food if that's what you're worried about. Nick jumps a little at that. It seems that was a big concern of his. Have Lion eat some if you don't believe me. Dinner is, predictably, a little uncomfortable. Okay, agonizing at first. So much so, I start to think this was a total mistake. But eventually, the polite smiles becomes one of amusement. The few too many pauses becomes natural dips in the conversation. Nick chews on his lower lip raw, as if to avoid saying anything that might put him in an even deeper hole. I can't help but watch them both, silently rooting for them. My mother is sharp enough to see the little things. Will she be able to see the change I see in him too? As the meal progresses, something shifts, just a little. My mom catches Nick off guard with a story about when I was little. Me and my superhero getup trying to save the neighborhood kids from a tree branch that had fallen down. It's one of those embarrassing stories that makes me flush. Nick laughs, looking genuinely amused. At least my sacrifice was worth it. Finally, as the meal winds down and we're all sitting back, satisfied, my mom looks over at Nick. Look, I won't play coy. You did a lot of awful things. Hurt a lot of people. Worst of all, you really hurt my baby. Nick swallows deep, nodding knowingly. But I told myself that if you were so bad, you wouldn't even entertain doing this in the first place. Maybe I'm naive. Maybe you're playing us all for fools, but I feel somewhere that you're trying to make a change. More than that, I believe in my heart of hearts that you really do care about them. I spoke with Thesis. He seems to believe that despite everything, your heart seems to be in the right place when it comes to them. Now we're both shocked. Thesis said that? He did. He wouldn't lie about this, even if it would be more beneficial for him to do so. I'm not exactly sure what she means. Beneficial how? Nick's face softens, his shoulders dropping as he exhales, something like relief washing over him.
I'm trying. I really am. I want to protect you both, even from myself. I kept my promise. I never told anyone your secret.
Mom smiles, and there's the smallest amount of warmth in it. I know. Just prove it. That mouth of yours has done you no favors. She says no real judgment in her voice. Sounds like she wants him to laugh. I feel a knot in my chest loosen, and I finally let myself breathe. We're going to be okay. Never perfect, but okay.
You're not wrong.
She leans back in her chair, her expression thoughtful. I guess you finally took down Chronos, huh? She asks, laughter in a voice, almost proud. Nick and I share a glance, then nod together, my hand finding his under the table. It feels like a weight has been lifted, like we've crossed another threshold. Yeah, I say softly. We both did. I squeeze his hand, and for the first time, I could tell that my mom truly believes it. Nick stands beside me, hovering, like he's trying not to crowd me, but can't help it. His fingers brush against my back and linger. He's still not entirely okay with me putting space between us lately, and I can see it in the way his eyes keep glancing at me, waiting for me to make the next move. Thanks for coming, Nick. I say, my voice a little stiff. It feels like I should say something else, but the words don't come. Mom's already made her point about everything about us, about him, about how we're not enough yet. Nick shifts his weight, his lips pulling tight before he pulls me into a quick hug, pressing his cheek against the side of my head. His breath hitches a little, and I feel the pulse of his heart, rapid and nervous. He starts to say something, but stops. I feel the tension radiating from him, like he's holding himself back from saying too much again. He promised me we'd take it slow. He promised himself he would. I pull away slightly to meet his gaze, my hand still on his arm. It's okay. You can head back. I promise. I'll text you later. My voice is steady, but I can feel my stomach doing somersaults. I don't know how to let him go right now. Nick hesitates for just a moment, his eyes searching my face like he's trying to figure out if he's allowed to stay. And I want him to. I really do, but I know that's why I shouldn't let him. He nods, but there's a part of him that still looks unsure. He leans in and kisses me lightly on the cheek, lingering a moment longer than he should. I kiss him on the lips, not satisfied with just a cheek.
I'll see you soon. I'll see you soon.
It hurts a little for him not to say he loves me. I know he does, but it feels like a lot very soon. I love him too, but it doesn't need to be said. At least not this casually. That will come naturally to us with time. Before he can say anything else, he turns and walks towards the door, his footsteps heavy, almost dragging. I watch him leave, my hand still resting on the doorframe long after he's gone. The house feels quieter without him here, like the silence has filled the space and refuses to leave. I strip down to my pajamas, toss my clothes into the laundry basket, and pull the blankets over me, hoping sleep will come easily tonight. But it doesn't. I toss and turn in bed, staring at the ceiling, listening to the creak of the house settling. I can't stop thinking about Nick, the way he looked when he left. That look in his eyes was too much for me to handle tonight, like I'm hurting him every time I put distance between us, even the smallest amount. I don't want him to feel like I'm pushing him away forever. It's just clear he needs to learn some boundaries, needs to get used to us existing separate from each other, even if we are a couple. I'm just trying to do things right this time. A soft sound pierces the silence. Clink. My heart skips. Then it's followed by another clink, then a faint tap, tap against the window. My body goes tense with instinct, then with excitement. He is such romantic, and we both know this is not Nick. How did we even get poisoned? Okay. I couldn't even be annoyed at him for giving in so easily. This was too cute. I sit up in bed, staring across the room at the window. A few more rocks hit the glass. I slip out of bed. My heart speeds up, and my hands reach for the curtains, looking for him, expecting him to hold some radio over his head and ask me to let down my hair and let him into my room for a late-night rendezvous. As I peer down into the darkness outside, I see nothing but shadows. Where'd he go? I grab the window handle, pulling it open. The cold night air hits me, sharp and biting. I reach for one of the rocks, careful as I pick it up. It's small, jagged. My fingers brush over the rough surface. Then my vision suddenly blurs. The last thing I feel is a dizzying rush of vertigo. Then everything goes black. Chapter 28. I'm kidnapped, and we can skip right on through. Chronos is behind Eris in an instant, his hand snapping out to grab her wrist. She tries to break free, her power surging wildly, but he holds her firm, his hands like a shackle. For a moment, Eris looks like she's going to strike again. Her eyes burn with hatred. She struggles, almost throwing a tantrum as she flails wildly, and to no avail, can't break from him. Chronos holds her steady. Her energy hums around them for a moment. It's like the song of a storm, and is on the precipice of striking or fading altogether. He doesn't let go, but he doesn't strike either.
Don't move!
For a long moment, the room is silent, except for the crackle of energy. Eris's chest heaves, her hands trembling. Gonna kill me too?
Give me the keys to Oracle's cuffs.
Fuck you! Her energy all but dissipates as Chronos yanks her.
Here, I brought energy cuffs with me.
I turn in the direction of the familiar voice from the doorway. What are you doing here? He tosses the cuffs in Chronos' direction, who catches them easily and places them on Eris without much issue. I watch as Thesis pulls off her mask. I didn't expect to see anyone I knew beneath it, but the second I see her face, some things begin to make sense. Rachel Bolton! That snake bitch! Winnie was gonna be happy at least. The tension in the room breaks. As soon as he can, Chronos rushes over to me, mask discarded. His hands gently undoes the restraints, the pressure lifting. I can finally move again, though the knife in my thigh makes it hard to.
This is gonna hurt.
I nod, bracing myself for the worst. It's not my first time getting stabbed. I try to joke. It does little to soothe him, though, as he wraps his fingers around it.
Hold on to me. Hell, bite onto my arm if you have to.
I can take it, I say, putting on a brave face. He pulls, getting it out in one try. The pain twists my stomach into knots as I resist the urge to vomit. I keel over, biting back a yelp, gritting my teeth. He watches me for a moment, and I'm able to swallow and breathe. He places pressure on the wound, apologizing silently as he does so. Oh, you saved me, I manage after a moment. The corner of his mouth curls upwards.
I tried. I'm so glad you're okay. I should have been faster.
I shake my head. You've been good, Nick. Oh, thank you. Oh, I love you. I tell him earnestly. The look he gives me nearly makes me forget about the pain in my thigh.
I love you too. We'll get you to a hospital. You're gonna be okay.
You
Our attention turns to Thesis. His voice falters for a moment.
didn't kill her?
Chronos turns to him.
No, I didn't have to.
Thesis takes a step forward, his expression unreadable. He looks between Chronos and me, the confusion in his eyes slowly shifting towards something else. Respect, maybe?
I can't believe I'm saying this, but
He pauses, his shoulders relaxing just slightly.
you did good, Chronos.
Chronos nods, his expression solemn but grateful. Thesis holds his gaze for a moment longer, then shakes his head, as if trying to process everything. But there's no denying it. He's seen the man Chronos has become. Despite the pain and fear coursing through my body, I can't contain my smile as I look at Chronos, as I look at Nick. Thesis contacts Olympus. They take Eris and get me some much-needed medical attention. It's as simple as calling a hero to heal my wounds. I'm practically good as new, though the scar still remains. Once the dust settles, it's just us three left to pick up the pieces.
This doesn't mean you're a hero. Yet. But you're on the right track.
Nick turns back to me, smiling knowingly.
Then, we've got more training to do.
It's a promise. He's staying. But if you're a hero, that's gonna make things harder for us. As a couple, I mean. Thesis gives me a passing glance.
I'm sure your boy will figure something out.
And Nick doesn't disagree. He's right. Nick would never let me go. He'd never live in a world where we couldn't be together. What? Hot off the presses, make Chronos your sidekick? I couldn't be Oracle without Chronos. I need him to stay with me. especially when no day is guaranteed.
Whatever you decide to do, you know better than I do. But you both seem happy. And I guess that's what matters.
Is he actually softening up? Thank you, Thesis. He looks confused, but he shouldn't be. He helped us get this far, in a sense. He may not fully trust Nick's intention, but he trusted mine. Enough to tell my mom that maybe Nick wasn't all bad. We may not all be buddy-buddy, but there was a certain level of respect between us that hadn't existed before. It seemed then that anything was possible. I had faith in the future ahead of us. I was no longer trapped. 29. It's over. Scylla's towering tentacled beast form now reduced to a scared woman shivering on the floor. I can still hear the echo of the last shockwave in my ears. Feel the burn of my exhausted muscles from the fight, and yet, we did it again. The moment she falls, I seek out Chronos, his hair tousled, face covered in rubble, as we shared deep breaths, indulging in our shared hard-earned victory. You're looking pretty smart for someone who just stood there and looked pretty the whole time. I tease, brushing a bit of dust from his shoulder.
You think so?
He arches an eyebrow. I chuckle. Why should that even be a surprise at this point? He's not even playfully insulted. I'm sure he heard pretty and his mind went blank. I roll my eyes as I scan the wreckage around us. Olympus is quick to send their people to come and collect Scylla before she can slither away. Hate to say it, but Thesis' training has made a world of difference. I've even been able to throw feints like he does. But, man, I just can't get it right. He doesn't flinch. Just gives me that sidelong glance that always makes my heart flutter.
Can't knock how good you look doing it, at least.
Hey! I shake my head. He just can't help himself. I don't mind.
We'll just have to practice more. You can take me down anytime.
Oh, my breath catches for a second. I don't know how a year later he can still manage to make me feel this way. It was nice to simply listen to the flirting without retorting back as Oracle or getting completely flustered by it as Lion. We managed to marry our two lives together in a way I never thought possible. A flash of light blinds me momentarily, followed by the sound of a camera click. I squint, shielding my eyes from the sun barrage of flashing lights. Standing a few paces away is an unfamiliar face. He's grinning like he's been waiting for this moment all day. Oracle! Chronos! Another victory, huh? You two are on fire lately. I've gotten used to the media as much as I can. I'd always had to deal with them, but having Chronos as my partner made it so we could never truly escape them. They're always trying to piece together our story, and Olympus is insistent we play along, at least a little. I turn towards the reporter, forcing a smile on my face, feeling the pressing weight of exhaustion in my limbs. Just a couple questions, I hope you don't mind. You two have been through a lot together, fought against each other, and now are on the same side of the fight. The fans want to know, how did you go from enemies to lovers? Chronos' body relaxes. I can feel the amusement in his chest as he nudges me. I do my best to ignore it, but the camera doesn't miss it. It's a long story. I answer honestly without thinking. We have all the time in the world, right, Chronos? The media believes that Chronos' ability has to do with time warping. It scares a lot of our enemies, instills hope into people. I suppose some lies weren't so bad. Chronos shifts next to me with a soft chuckle.
You've got 5 minutes. We have dinner plans.
He ties an arm around me as he waits for the reporter to respond. Yeah, of course. Can't continue to fight crime on an empty stomach. He tries to joke, moving on to his first question. So, what made you go from New Lycia's most feared villain to beloved newest hero?
Oracle saved me.
He doesn't elaborate. He enjoys watching the forum speculate, the discussions on TV, the fanfics and fan theories, as everyone works tirelessly to understand all the intricacies of our relationship. The reporter watches us. His expression is a mix of curiosity and admiration, his pen flying across the notebook as he jots down our words, still managing to eat up the crumbs he's been given. Okay, well, Oracle, have to ask, will we be seeing you two on the Hermes late night show soon? The public's dying to hear about all the behind the scenes of your hero work. I remember my media training, i.e. Thesis. Give them nothing, you don't owe them anything. I guess you'll just have to wait and see, is my new non-committal answer. Chronos looks at me proud. I can feel him practically vibrating next to me. I know he wants nothing more than to talk about all this over dinner.
We like to keep our little moments for ourselves.
I resist the urge to smack his arm. He's going to have everyone's head spinning at the implication. Instead, I laugh softly, my arm looping around his, leaning into him as I glance back at the reporter. What's important is that, more than heroes or villains, at the end of the day, we're people who found something in each other. I can feel Chronos squeeze against me. If he was vibrating before, he's quaking now, but it's true. The reporter grins, satisfied with our answers, no matter how small or vague. Well, I'll let you two have your moment, but everyone's going to want to know how Oracle and Chronos became the power couple of the century. Thankfully, he stays true to his word. He walks off, ushering the other reporters to follow. I turn into Chronos' embrace, letting myself melt into the familiar strength of his arms.
We did it, Oracle.
He murmurs into my hair.
We really did it.
I smile, my fingers lightly tracing the curve of his jaw, my heart full of quiet certainty. And we'll keep doing it. Our dinner plans went well. It was nothing less than what you'd expect of Nick. The reservation was made in advance, booked for a time slot in case our mission went over. He ordered all my favorite food, ordered my favorite drink, 5 courses of mind-blowing dishes after another, with sad sweet talk. Till finally, dessert. Though I was full, I couldn't resist a bite, and a bite was all I needed. I bit into a ring. It wasn't an engagement ring. It was too soon for that, but rather a promise ring. It was beautiful. Fit my finger perfectly. It was no surprise he'd memorized my size, memorized which design I was fond of. He nailed it. It was the most beautiful ring I'd ever seen in my life. He stared at me as he slipped it on. He kissed my finger, pressing my hand into the space between his eyes, and made what appeared to be a silent prayer. And though I hadn't closed my eyes, I did too. The rest of the world can have their headlines and their shows. We'll play our part as we always have, but one day, I'll find out how to tell our story. To spread the good word that love exists, because I was in it. Hopelessly, stupidly, criminally in love with a man that by all reasoning and logic, I shouldn't have been. But more than that, I needed to let the world know no one is incapable of being saved. That no one is incapable of being loved. Oh, man, that was so good! Damn! That was criminally yours. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys do want to play this for yourselves, link to the game will be in the description below. And is it just me, or are those names getting longer? It feels like I'm getting more names down here, but yeah, I absolutely love this game. Like, I think this is definitely like up there as like one of my favorite visual novels of all time. I love the drama. I love just how different the two routes are. Like, in ending 2, it genuinely feels like you are giving Nick a chance to properly redeem himself, and it really pays off. It truly pays off, and the moral dilemmas you actually get throughout this visual novel, it's just, oh, I love a story with good drama. Like, oh, I need more. I definitely need more. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all have a lovely rest of the day, and as always, I'll be seeing you in the next video. This is Lion, signing off. Ciao.